Maybe the most wild of all playoff races we had last season in pro sports took place. The sprint to the finish in the Western Conference.
What is going on, everybody? Look, I understand there may or may not be a lot of casters in on this event, but you know how it is. I couldn't miss the start of the NHL season. So I am here with you. It was fun covering those baseball wild card games. But we're going to bring it to you here. It's Golden Knights and Los Angeles Kings. If you want to follow along with me on the video feed, it is on ESPN. And then you can kind of follow along on the YouTube or Colorcast side, which I'll be today. Probably tomorrow might be Twitter Spaces.
The Kings last year, decimated by injuries, still made it to the playoffs, still took Edmonton to a game 7. Now they added Derek Young. Yeah, and look, the expectations for the Kings went up, right, in the offseason, so champ Rob Blake goes out and wants to enhance his team. So he goes against a guy in Kevin Fiala, who in Minnesota had a career year and really is taking his game to another level.
Okay, so we got the links and everything all set up on the Colorcast side. Let me give you the starting lineup so I can give you some other particulars as we go along here. So, as always, I thank everyone that's kind of sticking around and will follow me around this NHL and then next week upcoming NBA season because I'm going to be here. So, hopefully, you guys will enjoy the coverage and let me know what you want to see and what you want to hear. So, Vegas Golden Knights depth chart, it sounds like this. Again, the lines may change throughout the start of the game. So, I'll keep that abreast to that situation. So, it's Jack Eichel, Riley Smith, and Phil Kessel. Phil the Thrill, the newest Vegas Golden Knight, with Alec Martinez and Alex Pietrangelo on the first line defense. Chandler Stevenson, Brett Howden, Mark Stone, with Braden McNabb and Shea Theodore. William Carlson, Jonathan Marchessault, Michael Amadio on the third line, with Ben Hutton and Zach Whitecloud on defense, and then Nicholas Wall, Paul Cotter, and Keegan Kolsar on the fourth line, checking the line, if you will, with Logan Thompson in net. So the interesting part here for the Golden Knights, when you think about their expansion franchise and their history, it was Marc-Andre Fleury, as we have the national anthem stuff getting set up on the ESPN side. So when you think about that, and then you go to Logan Thompson now, 25 years of age, 20 games played, 10-5-3 was his record, 266 goals against, and a 914 save percentage. So this really isn't time for the Golden Knights to be starting really a rookie goaltender. How are you doing, Alec? What's going on there, buddy? If you want to follow along on the cast or you want to jump in on the color side, let me know. I know you're going to be doing a lot of casting I saw on Colorcast, so I appreciate you checking this out at all. So the situation here with the Vegas Golden Knights again, Logan Thompson's going to get the most of the action right up from the onset because Robin Lehner still dealing with a type of hip injury. He's going to be out for quite a while. Look, I know that there was a lot of talk with Bill Foley, the general manager, and Brad McCrimmon, the working manager there with the owner there, Bill Foley, in terms of what they wanted to do with Marc-Andre Fleury. And I know that's from a couple of years ago. But going from that to Robin Lehner and then now to Logan Thompson, the Golden Knights have a situation where they're thinking, we need to make the playoffs again. We can't miss it again like we did for the first time in 5 years. We're a playoff team. We brought Jack Eichel in from the experimental neck fusion. We think we can bring all the stuff in. We've been rolling all in, trying to roll nothing but 7 since making the Stanley Cup Finals in the first year when they lost to the Washington Capitals and Alex Ovechkin. They've been rolling the dice this entire time. And now they're up against salary cap hell. If things do not improve for the Golden Knights, and I think even though they're still a relatively young expansion franchise in year 5, if you can believe it, it's been that long, at 43, 31, and 8 last year with 94 points, if they don't improve on this situation and they fall out, I think the pressure's already against them in the highest degree. And they've got to get this right, and they've got to hope that Jack Eichel turns into the beast that he used to be. Anze Kopitar, Kevin Fiala, and Adrian Kempe, first line for the LA Kings, with Mikey Anderson and Drew Doughty. Drew Doughty is healthy and he's ready to go. Philip Dano was excellent last year since coming over from the Montreal Canadiens, an excellent two-way game, an excellent forward at that. Philip Dano's out there with Trevor Moore and Victor Arvidsson, Sean Dursey and Matt Roy. is the second line defense. It's Quentin Byfield, Alex Iafallo, and Gabe Biliardi, with Blake Lizotte, Carl Grunstrom, and Arthur Kiliev, with Alexander Edler and Sean Walker in the third line defense. Jonathan Quick will be in net. So let's get into our official broadcast now. It's Jonathan Quick in net, 23-13-9 at 259 goals against, 910 save percentage. He's in his 16th season for Milford, Connecticut, age 36. 2 shutouts last year for Jonathan Quick, his highest numbers in 4 years, and he was healthy. Logan Thompson, as we said, 10-5-3, 268 goals against, 914 save percentage, and his third season out of Calgary, Alberta. The 25-year-old, I believe he's going to have immense pressure on him. And when we get along through the play-by-play, I got some other notes that we can bring as far as the Golden Knights and the Kings, and we will get that. So I got my rosters and lineups in front of me, and let's get set. As I forgot, it's the crazy helmets there for the LA Kings, the reflective ones that we got. What's going on, Brian? How you doing, buddy? So this is NHL opening night. If you saw it from last year, for me, it was a lot of coverage at the start of January here on Colorcast, and now I'm absolutely thrilled, alongside Twitter Spaces, Facebook Live, and all that, to bring you a full season. So immediately turned over there, Jonathan Quick centered out in front, and the Kings and Drew Doughty were able to clear this one down the ice. That was immediate danger there off of a misplay from Jonathan Quick, and we'll get set up here. So as they've said on the CBS side, it is Riley Smith, Jack Eichel, and Phil Kessel on that first line, centered out in front, and it got brushed aside before it did Jonathan Quick. You let me know what you think about those helmets there, because I'm kind of wishy-washy on those as we get an icing. So in the opening, and I have to say this not disparagingly, but in the opening, it was the New York Rangers, Mika Zibanejad, almost getting a hat trick, pretty much wiping the floor with the Tampa Bay Lightning, but that was not the first game of the season, even though it's technically opening night. It was a series in Prague in the Czech Republic in between the Nashville Predators and the San Jose Sharks, where Nashville took the first 2 games of the regular season. So this is game number 4 of the regular season and the second game of the nightcap between the Golden Knights and the LA Kings at Crypto.com Arena. So the Los Angeles Kings are on their own end trying to get set up now, and they're going to go right to left across the timeline and your radio dial. And I believe there's already going to be a penalty because Jonathan Quick is not even in the net. So the referee does have the hands up. So when the Golden Knights touch, the LA Kings will go on their first power play of the season, but they still have a chance now with Kevin Fiala. He was excellent there, the pickup there for the Minnesota Wild, as this goes in between John Dursey and shot by Victor Arvidsson, gets gloved and held. So now the LA Kings will go to the power play, and this should give me some time to bring up the ESPN box score. So high sticking penalty is going to go against Vegas, and Phil the Thrill, the hot dog man, is going to go into the box. So the LA Kings, and yeah, that was a near, oh my goodness, that was almost a near beheading, but that just managed to hit the glove hand of Adrian Kempe, and that could have gotten a lot worse because that stick was up high, almost into the neck area. So let's get this here. So Phil Kessel at the 1:13 mark, 2 minutes for high sticking Adrian Kempe. So it's going to put the LA Kings in the first power play of the season for them, and the Golden Knights will get that one down. The Golden Knights now kind of changed their jerseys a little bit over the 5 years, a little bit more of the mustard color at the top. I like the inaugural seasons for the Golden Knights, those jerseys, more than anything else that they've shown so far. But really all they're thinking about right now is getting back into the postseason and doing some damage, and that's going to be tough in the Pacific Division to do that. Because, again, there was only 3 teams that made the playoffs. Both wildcards came out of the Western Conference Central. So Kevin Fiala, and across the red line now, gets this one to Anze Kopitar, still a member of the longtime Kings that won 2 cups in 06 and 08, or 08 and 010, I should say. Kopitar tries to center that one across. Kempe couldn't find it. And now Alec Martinez trying to race it up the 2-on-2. He's going to go between the backhand, and Jonathan Quick met it all the way on the left post and made the stop. So the Kings power play is going to go down to 1:04. So Vegas, first couple shots of the game right now, they're out shooting the LA Kings shots on goal 2-0, is really just underway here in the first. So as I've said, between Colorcast, Facebook Live, Twitter Spaces, YouTube, John Ryan Ott, I'll be all over the map this year. As always, coverage of any of the games I do will be at hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com. I look forward to working with you And I look forward to hearing from you throughout the year just to see whatever you guys want to. We'll talk about, follow along. What's going on, Nick? How are you doing, buddy? So 50 seconds left to go in the LA Kings power play. And the Golden Knights will get this one down the zone. We'll check this chat box here. What's going on, man? How are you doing? And it's 40 seconds left to go as the Kings are trying to get underway here. 17:20 left to go in the first period contest. Big hit there by the Golden Knights. Knocked one of the LA Kings on their heavily padded wallet, but maybe that reflection that falls in your eye from the helmet there might burn it a little bit because those are crazy looking lids. Kind of look like aluminum garbage cans as Trevor Moore tries to go all the way around the right side dot and gets knocked off the puck. Puts this one across. Now this goes to Philip Dano. He's on the left side dot. Dano will play this one across Jersey. Cross pass. And this shot gets deflected wide of Logan Thompson as he's still holding on at left post. Pick back up now. Jersey. He's going to let another one go as it passed across there with Waugh. And that one goes just wide. So Matt Roy, excuse me. There is a Nicholas Waugh and a Matt Roy. So I got to get my Roys and Waughs correct here. Stolen there, Jack Eichel. We'll see if he can turn into his Buffalo Sabres self. It was centered out toward the right dot, but nobody was there. And the LA Kings were able to pick this one up as they fluttered this one down the ice. 16:28 left to go in the opening stanza. Again, it's just 2 shots on goal here for Vegas. Nothing for the Kings yet. It's really just getting underway. So I'll try to follow along on the team stats side of the ESPN box score. I'll let you know everything else that's been going along as far as face-off shots and stats and keep you abreast of the situation when we get some goals and any other situations as far as scores, because I know there's no league games that we need to keep tabs on. I will do that as well throughout this broadcast. So Kelly lost the puck in behind the cage, but this was picked up by Carl Brunstrom. Brunstrom lost it, picked up by the Golden Knights, a chance for a 2-on-1, and it was held just toward the right dot before they can even get a shot on quick as Vegas is going to have to reset Mark Stone. It's good to see him back. He was the big-time pickup several years ago from the Ottawa Senators that got signed to a long-term extension. He's got an excellent two-way game. You think if you pair him there with Jack Eichel, when you move some of that stuff, Zach Whitecloud holds it off of the wrist shot, and that one was gloved nicely by Jonathan Quick and held. But just to have Mark Stone back on the ice and have Jack Eichel as well, you're putting it in a situation as tumultuous as you think the situation is between Vegas and what's going on. Those are players that I think any other NHL team would love to have. Salary cap issues aside, but that's the kind of the situation that you put yourself in. You want to have superstars. You want to be able to make an impact. Vegas still has some of those players, but they've got the strike this year, and they've got to get off to a quick start. Last year, what was undoing for Vegas was every time they got into a shootout or overtime, they would lose. So win the games in regulation, get your points, and take care of business. That's the narrative. Vegas able to keep this in the offensive zone. And this is picked up by Zach Whitecloud, third line defense. He's been excellent last year for the Vegas Golden Knights. As this is spun around, as Hutton gets a piece of it. Hutton still in behind the cage trying to get around Kempe, holding off the toe, dragging the red line on the right side. He's still spinning, trying to power and center away a pass to the net, and that got picked up by the Kings defense as they are underway. Adrian Kempe now with Kopitar fluttered out of the back, and Logan Thompson snow angel down, and he made a big-time save that almost snuck to the 5-hole, but Thompson fell on it just before it crossed the red line, and the first big play there for the LA Kings, Logan Thompson said no, and he made the save at the 15:08 mark. So it was just a nice fluttering pass in front. Kopitar, beautiful sauce off the backhand, tried to get to Kempe, went off of the, I believe, skate blade of Whitecloud, and it bounced off the post on the left side, went all the way across to the right post, but did not cross the line. So that was a bullet dodge, and sometimes you never know what the puck is going to hit. You put it at the net, good things can happen. So Philip Dano is an excellent defensive draw centerman. He does win this one, but the Kings were able to find it. Racing across the left line now is Riley Smith. He is still the only Vegas Golden Knight left on the original squad 5 years ago, if you can believe that. Picked up now by the Los Angeles Kings, but they're being worked over by the right side red line in the dot. And this is picked up by Dano. He finds Victor Arvidsson. He was excellent since coming up from the Nashville Predators last year. Arvidsson centers a pass across. What a stop there by Thompson as he got the right pad over. And now here come the Golden Knights. Golden Knights near the right dot now. And had to stop and slow down off the backhand and kept to the defensive side with Pietrangelo and Alex Martinez. Pietrangelo let that one go right into the catching glove hand of Jonathan Quick. So 14-22. We've not had a commercial break yet. And the LA Kings have finally got some shots on goal. That was Trevor Moore on that side. I thought he might have got a piece of that to Logan Thompson, but it just went out the outside of the cage. Still, Logan Thompson would have been able to make that save because he slid across the post eloquently there. So Stone is out on the ice right now in the offensive zone draw here, so maybe they can win that one clean and send that across. Now, an interesting part for me, when you think about William Carlson on the Vegas Golden Knights, when he started 5 years ago, he was on that first line for the Vegas Golden Knights. He's been moved all the way to the third. So you would say, okay, that brings up some depth, but really the situation is they've not gotten the production out of what they need him. He's normally a first-line guy with a first-line talent. He's kind of fallen off over the last couple of years, so I think William Carlson would be another piece that the Knights would really need if they want to get back where they're supposed to be, which is in the playoffs, and not even just that, competing for cups. And across the red line now, Stevenson with Stone. He plays this one across Stevenson. Oh, that was picked up by the LA Kings nicely before Jonathan Quick got a right pad out on him and intercepted. As this goes back to the defense there of the LA Kings. Pass across on the right line side. Philip Danault with a wrist shot that went toward the right side of the bar and just whistled past the ear of Thompson. As this gets picked up now by the Kings in their own end. This goes across with Sean Dursey. Anze Kopitar lost it in between a stick blade, picked up by the Golden Knights now. Marchessault tried to center it out in front. Former Florida Panther. Again, he's been with the Golden Knights for a few years now. Kevin Fiala, again from the Minnesota Wild. He's got a lot of points under his belt, and when we do get a stoppage, I can give you some of those official stats. That was one of those big ones there for the GM, Rob Blake, to get him over. Picked up now and intercepted by the Golden Knights in their own zone. And again, this falls back to the Kings and Drew Doughty, where he can go ahead and try to clear this one out. One of the sticks got lodged out of the hand. That was Kevin Fiala. He went to go back to retrieve the lumber as we've hit the 12:50 mark of the first period. John Adi with you from Crypto.com Arena, technically the NHL opening night. That's what they want to call it on ESPN. But we've had a couple games in Prague, and then we had the Tampa Bay New York Rangers game, where Tampa was able to get a loss in the sense of the Rangers giving them a big win. It was Mika Zibanejad almost with a hat trick. So Waugh tries to pick up the puck now for the Golden Knights. Tries to retrieve now there with Kolasar, Keegan Kolasar off the backhand. He's being worked over there by Carl Grundstrom. So gets picked up now by Waugh. Grundstrom able to chip this one across the kick plate and now to the red line. Vegas will try to reset in their own end next to the Crypto Bud Light sign here. It's Crypto.com Arena. It's no longer Staples Center, where the Los Angeles Clippers, Lakers, and Kings all play. The Clippers are going to be getting their own arena in the next couple of years in Inglewood, back where the Lakers used to play. So this should still be the site of the Lakers and Kings after a couple more years. So they're going to play station to station here. Are the Los Angeles Kings, as they're going to be looking to break out with Philip Danault on the second line for Todd McClellan's squad. And that one gets intercepted. Jack Eichel, number 9's got it now. He flutters this one nicely, but it could not be corralled by McNabb. And Jonathan Quick's going to take no chances, and he's going to hold. 11:31 left to go in the first as we look at Bruce Cassidy on that side there for Vegas, the former Boston Bruins coach. We get a break. When we come back, we're going to call more of the action in a moment.
I know it's not a big deal because I didn't scream. Oh, I see. So that's why it's not a big deal.
So I went in through some of the starting lineups to this game and some of the action that was going across. It's been about 4 shots there for the LA Kings, about 3 for the Golden Knights, and stupidly, of course, because it's opening night, I forgot to put the recorder and all that stuff in there. So you got to see Jack Eichel on the ice and Mark Stone for the Vegas Golden Knights, and the LA Kings will look pretty good with Jonathan Quick so far. When we get back in with about 14 minutes left to go in the first, we're going to call more of the action. It's officially 11:31 left in the first. So when we get back into the official action, it'll be 11:31 left to go in the first because stupidly opening night I forgot to put my recorder on for the first part of this Golden Knights Kings games. It's been about 4 shots apiece for both squads. Golden Knights have looked good, and you've got a chance to think about Jack Eichel and Mark Stone for the Golden Knights, and we'll see if that continues as we go along. Stay tuned. We'll call the action in a moment, officially for real this time. So let's just look at the scores right now. It was a 7-6 win for the Philadelphia Phillies over the Atlanta Braves. And then we have a couple other ones that went final. It was the Houston Astros with a miraculous comeback. And you're thinking about Robbie Ray trying to get the final out there for Seattle. And it was one of those situations where, okay, you bring him in for one out in the lefty-lefty matchup, but also a situation where he's probably going to be a starter in the next couple of days. I guess they get a day off in this series, but how's that going to work? Yordan Alvarez hit the bomb, and then the Yankees finish off a 4-1 final of the Guardians. So we will see how all of that shakes out in the MLB postseason game ones. The only other one we have right now is the LA Dodgers 2, San Diego nothing in the bottom of the third. So back in the official action right now, Vegas Golden Knights have it in the offensive zone. This is picked up now by Fiala as he goes back in the own end to pick it up now. Fiala trying to find this with Philip Dano as the Los Angeles Kings have been smart about this thing in their own end. And the Golden Knights will intercept and play this from their own end across the red line. Picked up now momentarily by Fiala, and he's going to circle back around to the defensive partner and Sean Durzi. Durzi passed across. He tried to find Philip Dano, but this one's going to be called for a hybrid icing. So it's going to be an offensive zone draw here for the Vegas Golden Knights, and the Kings cannot change with 10:59 left to go in the first. Todd McClellan looks on his 4th season as Kings head coach with .510 points percentage and winning 94, 90, and 24. But again, he has inherited a situation with the LA Kings that was strongly in a rebuild, and Quentin Byfield from a couple seasons ago that has not yet found his stride. He was the second pick, and Alexei Lafreniere was pick numero uno. Which you would think with the acquisitions with Philip Dano last year, Kevin Fiala now, you still have Anze Kopitar, you still have Jonathan Quick on the back end of that cage. This is a good team, and the LA Kings, many pundits are picking them to finish first in the Pacific. Yes, over the Calgary Flames in terms of all of that. So if you really think that they're going to be that good, then they're going to have to get off to a good start like they did last year. So here's a chance now. Adrian Kempe. If Fiala lets it go, and Logan Thompson just saw it go wide of the cage in the goal now. 10:21 left to go in the first. We are still scoreless. So let's look at the team stats while we have a moment. 6 shots to 1 in favor of the Golden Knights unofficially right now. And I would say a couple of those chances, even though they kind of bit around Logan Thompson's cage, it was one of those situations where went off skates it didn't handle as a shot on goal. So it's 6 hits to 4 in favor of Vegas. 5-5 are your faceoffs right now as the Kings have an offensive zone draw. Anze Kopitar trying to find this thing with Fiala as this goes back to Drew Doughty. Doughty now with Durzi. Durzi now trying to get back out on his horse. It's a 2-on-2. Durzi trying to fight off Stone at the front of the cage, and this goes toward the right faceoff dot where Jonathan Marchessault also got a piece of it. Durzi now trying to fight against Michael Amadio. Still set it out toward the right dot, trying to get picked up by Zach Whitecloud. Phil Kessel played it to the other D-man instead, as this is William Carlson. Carlson, the longtime tenured Golden Knight, since coming over from the Columbus Blue Jackets in the expansion. Give now to Philip Dano. He was brushed off the side of the puck by Whitecloud. Now this is near the right dot. Whitecloud circling, and Alex Iafallo trying to join in. And now Kempe is going to leave this here as this goes right in front of Kevin Fiala, and that might have just went out the left side of the park. Another shot scores! The LA Kings get on the board, the first goal of the season for them, and they've got the lead, 1-0, 9:24 left to go in the first stanza. That was good work there by the Golden Knights to just try to create some pressure. I believe Matt Amadio was trying to get a piece of it, but this could be Gabe Belliardi's goal. and he's got the first goal for the Kings to open this NHL season. So Quentin Byfield was the one that just left the left side of the post. He found Viliardi. He whistled one near the right dot. He was aiming for the low left side corner, and he got it. So Gabe Viliardi from Quentin Byfield, I know that for sure. If we get another secondary assist, I will bring that to you. But Gabe Viliardi, first goal of the LA Kings season. They lead 1-0 over the Golden Knights. So Viliardi from Carl Gretterstrom. I don't know if Quentin Byfield's also going to get a point on that. It feels like he got that pass across to Viliardi, and we'll see how they change that. 9 minutes left to go in the first. The LA Kings get the first goal at home to the delight of the fans at Crypto.com Arena. John out here with you. NHL opening night. I'm riding solo here tonight as I'm finishing out any kind of coverage here on Colorcast. 8:55 left to go in the first stanza. Gabe Viliardi fires up the crowd and fires up himself. He gets the first goal of the season for the Kings. When we come right back, we're going to call more of the first period action in a moment.
When we started our business, we were like, with postage, I remember setting up ship station. I think it was just like 1 or 2 clicks. Everything was up and running. Just printing out labels, saving money. Ship station saves us so much time. It makes it really easy.
Let's check the YouTube side just in case we get anybody in here. Guys, I appreciate anyone that follows along on the YouTube side as well. I'm trying to keep abreast of the Twitter situation, Colorcast, and all that. As always, let me know what you want to see and hear throughout the season. I will leave some polls on Twitter and Facebook at John Reinott. Let me know what's going on. What's going on, Jeff? How are you doing? Are you rooting for any one of these teams here tonight? Or is it one of those situations that you want to just enjoy some hockey action? There's been some good baseball games as well, so I appreciate anyone that's kind of moved around from that as well. I was able to cover Rays Guardians early through the weekend on the Friday and Saturday, but I couldn't miss opening night. I started the coverage on Colorcast on that side through January, so now it's actually nice to get a full season in. So neutral today, you're a Sharks and Blues fan. So I would have to feel that you feel pretty good about the St. Louis Blues more so than the San Jose Sharks, but you think that they're in firm need of a rebuild. But let me ask you here, Jeff, are you okay with Brent Burns moving on, serving his time there for the Sharks? Because I want to go see, maybe get a chance for him to win something in Carolina. But the St. Louis Blues, I still feel like the core is very, very good. And in the terms of, yes, they gave Colorado Avalanche some trouble. Yes, they're firmly the best team in the West, but I still believe the Blues are very much in the running. So defensive zone draw here for the Vegas Golden Knights. Going to pull my rosters, and then I will check back in with you just in case anything goes along. So we're going to get a brush out of the draw. This Quentin Byfield gets knocked out of there, so it's going to be Gabe Viliardi. He's going to take the draw, and he lost it clean to Nicholas Waugh. But are we going to have to do this again is the question at the 8:54 mark. So, yes, I do think I agree with you. It is a definite rebuild there for the Sharks. I think you got to take some time. And just like it was last year for all of the California teams, I mean, hell, even through January, you had the Anaheim Ducks in the postseason. You had the San Jose Sharks in the postseason at the time before the collapse a little bit. But I believe those are good organizations. Just like the Sharks are, Sharks and Ducks, I think they're going to find it here pretty soon. Spun around the kick plate here as Jonathan Quick watched it go by, but he's still holding on the left side post as this gets picked up now. Byfield. He's going to dump this in across the red line. The Vegas Golden Knights will race to this one. When we get into a break, I'll bring in some Golden Knights and some Kings stats when the action is not underway as it is right now. 8:10 left to go in the first. John on here with you on the call from Crypto.com Arena. I'm watching on the ESPN Plus side and streaming on Colorcast. So if you have an iPhone, you can follow along on that side if you need clear audio, because I know my camera is not as good on the YouTube side. So for me, you're listening to someone that is broadcasting from the Detroit, Michigan area. So as always, when you talk about the Sharks and you talk about the Red Wings, they were some pretty good rivals there in the Western Conference. I know it's been several years now that the Red Wings moved over back in the Eastern time zone, the time slot, but I used to love those games, especially when I worked at the paper at the Oakland Press. I would come home late at night. If they're playing against any of those teams on the California coast and between the Sharks and Ducks and things like that, I'd always be tuned in when the Red Wings would play. So Red Wings now, and we're still through the midst of a rebuild, but it is year number 4 for Steve Eisman. Hope he can turn that around soon. One-timer, what a stop there by Logan Thompson as he somehow found it with the glove hand, and it's going to stay right here in the offensive zone. So Kevin Fiala, again, we've said his name a few times, and I hate to keep hitting the repeat button, but that was a big-time shot there, and Logan Thompson was able to find that one. So here's the stats in front of me. He played all 82 games in the season. He had 33 goals, 52 assists, 85 points, and a plus 23. So now from the Wild to the Kings, you would think he can build on that plus-minus as he did and bring a lot of points to a team. Again, Anze Kopitar and all that stuff has been very good with the AAA battery line with Kempe and Iafallo, but still, you need a little bit more of younger blood in there for the Kings, and he should be able to provide heavy production on that first line, as I would expect. Marchessault to Stone, and this one gets turned over as Trevor Moore has it now, holding off the backhand as this goes to Grundstrom, tries to find more, and now Arvidsson will play crisscross, pass out in front, but it didn't hit Logan Thompson, as this goes back, and the Vegas Golden Knights will race left to right across the timeline. They dump this one down. Jonathan Quick will intercept with the goal stick as he's holding on the left post, and they're battling near the right face-off dot. And now the red line. Golden Knights trying to find this one. As this goes walled off by Stone. Picks it up now. Throws it back to the D-man as this is going to go to White Cloud. White Cloud will chip and chase this one across and dump this in deeper. So right now it's White Cloud and Ben Hutton on third line defense. Bounced out in front, lost momentarily, picked up now by Carlson, slap shot by Hutton, gets blocked out in front, and the Kings will chip this one off the kick plate and get it down the ice. For William Carlson will try to go left to right across your radio dial. So the Golden Knights are in the mustard yellow and the black pants, and the Los Angeles Kings will be going right to left in the white and black pants here tonight. Big time hit as Grundstrom got knocked down on his heavily padded wallet. And this is spun now back by the Golden Knights in their own end. Marchessault, nice pass ahead, but it was lost, and Hutton's going to have to go back. He's going to try to play this one to White Cloud, get this around to Jonathan Marchessault, and another outlet pass goes off the lively inboards. Jonathan Quick will take no chances, and he will hold. 6:07 left to go in the first period. It is the Los Angeles Kings with the 1-0 lead. So let me give you your goal scorer here. I'm going to pull up this ESPN box score. Right now it is Gabe Vigliardi from Quentin Byfield and Alex Iafallo. So Byfield I knew was going to get the primary assist. Right now they have it. The secondary with Alex Iafallo. And Nick, you let me know, who did you take in this game? I said with Logan Thompson, I think it was fair for you to take the Los Angeles Kings. I thought that they were going to win this game outright. Again, we have a game to call, and I don't want to spoil the ending because the Golden Knights definitely have some firepower. But I figure with Logan Thompson really in his first game and a big-time start, I think that would be the way that you would go there. But let me know. So back into the action now, Blake Lizotte will chip and chase this across the red line. As this gets intercepted, Stone tried to play a cross pass. He tried to sneak it across the left side dot, but it got intercepted. Picked up now by the Los Angeles Kings, Anze Kopitar. Tried to follow now with Iafallo. Here's a chance now. Dursey lets it go for the screen, and this was lost. Kempe tried to find it. He got a couple active sticks in there. Kempe lost it. Wow. We'll get this one down. He tried to get there, and now he's got it now against Kopitar. Kopitar trying to fight through the traffic as the Golden Knights have it behind the office of Jonathan Quick near the right side red line. Hutton joins in as well, so since he's pinched in front of the defensive side, someone's going to have to go back off the chip and chase as this is still in between. So I bet 10 to win 20, Kings plus 10. So, yeah, there you go. I think that could be a really good one to get, and hopefully it doesn't have to be in regulation. Hopefully it could just be a win is a win is a win, even if it's overtime. If we get to that point in game number 1 here, as I got the nightcap between the Golden Knights and the LA Kings. And off the kick plate now, they've been stuck in their own end. The Golden Knights have had them hemmed in there for about a minute and 20 seconds. Shea Theodore will check back on the second line defense there for Bruce Cassidy's squad. Picked up now. Eichel tried to snipe the right side of the bar. And Jonathan Quick found it in his glove hand. 4:32 left to go in the first. And I think for any NHL fan right now, whether it's casual or perspective or however it is, whether or not you're a fan, just to see Jack Eichel on the ice. And look, I understand that comes with some prosperity as far as what he can bring to the table and what his attitude is. But just to see him back on the ice, he used to be one of the NHL's best, and we'll see if he can return to form. When we come back in from the action, we'll call the last 5 minutes. Stay tuned. So, how do I feel about the sparkly jerseys? The helmets and all that, man, I'm not so sure, Jeff. I know you're joining on the Colorcast side. I appreciate it. Anyone that gives a follow, I give them a follow right back. Again, I know YouTube's probably more conjugate for the amount of people that you get, but you're going to get the better audio from me on this side. And then when we probably get toward the second period is when I'll have to plug in this phone. So I think the jerseys and the helmets are a little bit different from both teams from what I'm used to. I think the Golden Knights, again, I like the first year inaugural jerseys, and for the Kings, I like the initial just regular black helmets that they would have. But that's just me. But if you pick up NHL 23 off the early release, either tonight or Friday when it officially comes out, you can have those reflective helmets in EA SHL if you choose. Not that that wouldn't get any annoying to be able to see that on the ice as you're skating around with the reflective helmets. So the Golden Knights 7 scoring chances, and the LA Kings 7 scoring chances. Golden Knights at 0. I don't know if I really agree with that at this point, but that's what we have in the official, unofficial stats, if you will. So you can follow along on ESPN. It's not on ESPN Plus tonight, although you can still get it on ESPN Plus. You don't have to. Regular ESPN if you're following along on the streams here tonight. And then you have Fox Sports 1 right now, the other baseball game that's going on right now between the Dodgers and the Padres. That is 4-0 favor of the Dodgers. So getting back into the official action right now as this goes back to Braden McNabb. He will chip this in across the red line, and now it finds Victor Arvidsson. So now Drew Doughty is going to pass this across to the defensive partner, Doughty. Just good to see him back on the ice. And boy, the Edmonton Oilers were sure happy that they didn't have to see Drew Doughty in that 7-game series where the Oilers were able to win that one 4-3 and then win the Battle of Alberta against the Calgary Flames. Jonathan Quick stick that one out of the way. The net almost got dislodged, but the play is still alive. This is kept in by the mustard-colored Vegas Golden Knights right now. Jack Eichel flutters it right into the catching glove of Jonathan Quick. So anytime Eichel's had the puck, he's been looking to get rid of it quickly off the stick and get his shots and get a little bit of a sweat on. I think Jack Eichel's looked pretty good. So Bruce Cassidy, Bruins defenseman under there between his 5 seasons, 12th, 23rd, 14th, 24th, and 24th as far as goals scored. That's what it shows. So 34, 31, 32, 18, and 31, respectively. 31 last year. So they get a lot of goals from their defense. So I would imagine in that line of thinking, the Vegas Golden Knights are going to turn and burn and fire as much as they can. Marchessault pinballed off the goal stick there of Jonathan Quick. And now this is off the backhand by William Carlson. Carlson's still with it now and behind the cage. Looks for the wraparound. A nice cut off there by Sean Dursey as he's just trying to find it now. Alex Iafallo almost lost it, but the Vegas Golden Knights, they keep this one in. The last few minutes have been good for Vegas. They've kept the Kings heading into their own zone, but they need to be able to get the all-important second goal. Look, I understand it's game 1 of the regular season, so this game probably won't mean as much for the LA Kings, considering how good they're going to be. But if I'm Vegas, I want to make a statement quickly against a really top-tier team in the Western Conference. Yes, you want to get healthy. Yes, you want to make some changes and get back into the playoffs, but you also want to show, to me, Mark Stone and Jack Eichel are healthy, back on the ice, and ready to bring the pain, because that's what the Golden Knights are going to need. Alex Pietrangelo, Alec Martinez, he was the hero there for Game 7 for the Los Angeles Kings when they last won their Stanley Cup. Set it out in front, big save there by Quick, and off the secondary backhand. Made a glove save there as Ben Hutton had some chances of all people. Pietrangelo now holding near the right dot as he will play crisscross there. Brett Howden Stevenson lets this one go through the screen, and that didn't find it. Jonathan Quick. Zone time for the Golden Knights, sitting at about 55 seconds as Dursey going to take his time. We're just about at the 2-minute mark on the first stanza. Opening night in the NHL. If we don't count those games in Prague and the New York Rangers win over the Tampa Bay Lightning to open this, that was a rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals. Mika Zibanejad with a pair of goals. 155, Blake Lizotte in his own end, trying to pry this one loose to Carl Grundstrom, but that one goes wide. Kevin Fiala, nice back check there to be able to get all the way back, try to get a piece of it. And now this goes to Keegan Kolesar, but he lost it. And now the LA Kings and Blake Lizotte trying to play that off the backhand and chip and chase it to himself. And Jonathan Quick misplayed this one off the boards, but this goes back to Alexander Edler, former Vancouver Canuck. Blake Lizotte gets this one down as he chips and chases. This is this deep down the zone. So it's Alexander Edler and Sean Walker in third line. And that shot for Eichel just went high and wide. He was all alone. Off the glove side, Eichel off the backhand tried to find it there for another Golden Knight teammate. And that one went just wide. Carl Grundstrom tried to find a piece of it. And now the LA Kings will get this one down. No icing, as this is near the right dot. We've got a minute remaining left to go in the first period. John out here with you from Crypto.com Arena. Glad you can join me here tonight for the last game on Colorcast and pretty much the last sports game of the night. Picked up now, LA Kings will dump this one in across the red line now near the left side dot. Victor Arvidsson lost it, and now the Golden Knights have about 35 seconds with to do some damage if they can get to it. Nice drop pass. Good defense, even better on the other side for the Kings, but I think we're going to get a elbowing penalty with 31 seconds left to go. I think that's going to be signaled as a high stick. Definitely a penalty anyway. So let's see who this is going to be on. So Mikey Anderson, first line defense, he's usually out there with Drew Doughty. So that's a one that you really still want to have on the ice, and that was about as good of a cross check as you could like, as Matt Amadio had to take a seat and Mikey Anderson was the guilty party. So this puts Vegas on the power play, and again, if they don't score, it's 31.1 seconds left to go in the first. This power play will carry over into the second with a fresh sheet of ice. So that was cross-checking right into the face of Matt Amadio, courtesy of Mikey Anderson. That puts the Golden Knights on their first power play of the season. 26 seconds left to go in the first period. Riley Smith into the screen. Quick gloved it down. It's still out in front of the goal cage, and it's dangerous. Dano try to get all the way back there with Doughty. And it's going to be collected. Riley Smith has it now. He's going to play this across the defensive partner and Shea Theodore. Pass across in front. Riley Smith fan on it. In front of the net as Jonathan Quick is down trying to do a snow angel. And the Golden Knights just couldn't find it. And that is going to end the first period. And I think this puck might have hit the bar for Riley Smith just as the period expired and the ref said no goal. I did not see the last 2 seconds on that shot myself as I was just looking down, but there was a shot that hit the post just as the period expired, and as the action I called when Jonathan Quick was all the way down doing the snow angel, that was already going to be over. So a shot was late, it hit the bar, it stayed out, and after one, it's 1-0 for the LA Kings. Your lone goal scorer, Gabe Belliardi from Quentin Byfield and Alex Iafallo. So when we come back, we're going to call second period action in a moment. I'm going to get the goal typed in for my notes and courtesy, and if there's anyone hanging out on the Colorcast side, I will be back in a couple of moments. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it. And yeah, that was a really good job by both of you guys, and I love the conversation back and forth. Hopefully keep you entertained. You know what we can do right now in the interim, if you guys don't mind, I can turn on the baseball game for a couple of moments, and I can keep you abreast of that situation if you guys would like. I know that is on FS1, but if you want me to go back for the intermission, I will. But since I know I got about 5-6 minutes at least, let's go back in the baseball game and follow us along here. So Mookie Betts almost had a blast near the left side foul pole. So right now it's 5-0 Dodgers. They have the bases loaded, but it's an 0-2 count against Mookie Betts with 2 outs. So if this game isn't already over, if Mookie Betts gets another key hit, maybe makes it 7-0, it will be. It may be one of those situations where I should keep my mouth shut because a couple days ago, you know what happened with the Seattle Mariners and the Toronto Blue Jays. But still, this is danger territory here as Mookie Betts gets a chance to check in. If you want to follow along with the official call, you can follow along with Logan Antonio. He's on the Colorcast side. He's going to cover this whole game there for you. Shallow Plot Fly is going to get picked up here by the Padres, and they escape with the bases loaded. It's still 5-0. We're going to be going into the top of the 4th inning with the Padres up the bat. They have just 1 hit in this contest. But if you do want to follow with Logan Antonio, he's going to be covering this game on Colorcast in its entirety. Again, I don't know if he always does the full play-by-play on his side. I know some of the stuff is sound effects and some calls because you want to save your voice. I get all that. So don't know if he's going to go super hard for the playoff side of it, but he always does a good job. He does a lot of coverage. And I'm not just saying that because he's always on there. Any kind of content creators, I try to just give them as much publicity and appreciation as you can because we just want to be able to list all the good ones here. I don't maybe not consider myself a great one, but you want to be able to keep people entertained and appreciative and let them know that we care to have you guys be able to tune in. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's kind of weird typing in a hockey box score. It's been a minute. I know I covered a little bit of the World Juniors about the last month and a half, but just to be back here on October 11th, about 11 p.m. Eastern, it's a little surreal that we're already back into the NHL season. No butterflies yet, though. It's just a regular season game. That's not until we get to the postseason.
Choose between steak and chicken or steak and shrimp. No rules here, mate. Get them both. It's the Aussie way. Starting at $16.99 for a limited time. Only Outback Steakhouse.
Hi, I'm Shannon Stearns Couture. When we started selling my health products online, our shipping process was painfully slow.
10:36 marker.
Now we're shipping out orders 5 times faster. And thanks to ShipStation's discounted rates, we're saving a ton. Honestly, we couldn't do it without ShipStation.
Join over 100,000 online sellers who get shipped done with ShipStation. Go to shipstation.com/try and get 2 months free.
Yeah, feeling tired, getting soft, growing old?
Wake up and grab an ageless male max with a non-prescription ingredient to help boost your smooth testosterone. Be the man you want to be. Welcome back to Dodger Stadium. I'm the Padres manager, Bob Melvin. You have to go get your starting pitcher in the 3rd inning. What did you see from Mike Clevenger? Well, they make you work. They call a lot of pitches off. They make you throw it over the plate.
Hey, I appreciate the kind words there, Nick. Everybody might try to talk about an expert and things like that. There's not a lot of guys that do hockey coverage, but if you follow me, you follow Cooper Hopkins, we usually do those calls there together. Cooper Hopkins is a person that I met last year around the January side that covers a lot of Calgary Flames games. So if I ever jump in with him on a Flames call, we did a lot of the Stanley Cup playoffs together. He's going to be the play-by-play man of the Flames games over on the color side. So we're going to kind of keep things coordinated. We'll get some calls in there with Nick, especially when we get to the basketball season next Tuesday. And then, again, if anyone ever wants to join in to be able to run some color or just shoot the shit or run any things in the chat section, you can always definitely do that. So I will be here in the entirety from the start of October all the way through June. So it's going to at least be a game a week from me for the NBA and NHL season. And then during the writing coverage, it's Sunday game picks for the NFL, doing recaps. But I don't really call NFL games because I just don't know enough about it. So really, it's me, it's NBA, NHL, and then college ranks for basketball and hockey. I'll be doing a lot of that. Maybe if we can get lucky enough to get some more MLB postseason, I'll do that. So NHL, NBA, MLB, and the college ranks, that's where you'll find me. So Soto digs in with a 1-2 count against Julio Urias. So you're giving Urias a 5-run spot in the 4th inning. And you know this, Nick, better than anyone else. With Julio Urias, he is always one of those guys where he could be a Cy Young candidate. He can always be that good to that point. And it's really, really difficult at this point, you would think, for the Padres to be able to make some inroads. Can Juan Soto definitely do it? Yes. See if he can hit something here with a 2-2 count. This is a fastball, big-time swing, and that's going to go right to the center fielder with Cody Bellinger, as he's got the sideways head. So Cody Bellinger probably only hits about a $1.95 more than you or me in the chat section there. So you, me, and Jeff, I think Cody Bellinger hits about a $195 more than all of us, but he also probably makes like another $150 million more than all of us. Because isn't Cody Bellinger at the free agency point in this year? So he's going to make a ton of money. You still pay a lot of money for that glove and that speed, but man, he's fallen off since his rookie season. This brings up Manny Machado, 0 for 1. Urias with pitch number 46. Fastball dotted near the left side of the box. So it's Will Smith and Julio Urias. And the real Will Smith, I guess, if you want to talk about that, he's probably one of the only hitting catchers that we have in the league. There's not too many of those left anymore. Machado grounds this one, a laser down the left field line, third base line. They're going to do that again. It's an 0-2 count on Manny. So Manny has been playing hurt pretty much all year. Little bit of situation where he just can't run the bases as much as he would like or generate as much power, but that bat speed is exceptional for Manny Machado. He's going to have to dig in on this 0-2. Yeah, Will Smith, I mean, yeah, there's several Will Smiths. There's Will Smith the catcher, there's Will Smith the pitcher, there's Will Smith the actor. And when it was Braves Dodgers at one point, it was Will Smith at the plate against Will Smith. 32-10, 257, 099 whip, 361 strikeouts. Last 2 seasons for Urias. That's elite numbers. Most wins in baseball. Helps when you play on the Dodgers, though. Machado swings and misses. He could have swung 5 times at that curveball. He would not have hit it. The 5th strikeout for Urias. So he's dealing. And maybe I can look at this. I can't really close up the ColorCast side because you guys won't be able to hear me. But you know what? I got the computer in front of me. Doy. Let's look up probables. If MLB's got those up right now. So I know there's an off day for the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners. But what do we have on tap tomorrow for baseball? So Phillies and Braves will kick off at 4:35 Eastern on Fox. And then 8:37, just 2 games tomorrow. It'll be Dodgers and Padres again at 8:37 on Fox Sports 1. So let's see if this shows probables for tomorrow. Who is going? It's going to be Yu Darvish against Clayton Kershaw tomorrow. I think that's one. Let's see. I thought I was going to do a 7:30 hockey game tomorrow, but let's see, because I know Loro is going to cover that game. I'm not going to step on his toes. I know he's going to do Dodgers, Giants. He's covered Dodgers all year, so I don't want to take his thunder there. But I wonder if anyone is going to do Phillies Braves at 4:30. I might do that game tomorrow instead of doing a hockey game. Because Thursday might give me a hockey game with Cooper Hopkins. That could be Flames and Avalanche. So I might do the baseball game tomorrow on Twitter Spaces. That one's going to be Wheeler and Wright as the Phillies look to take a 2-0 lead. And when you're talking about, as a Cardinals fan there, Jeff, I kind of thought about this, and I guess I agree with Nick on that side. We know what that situation is with Wainwright and Molina and Pujols and things like that. When I saw Nicholas Castellanos doing a lot of damage, like, damn, he was pretty good on the Tigers. And Dave Dombrowski was a good general manager for a long time. It would have been nice to still have some of those pieces. Long rebuild left here for the Tigers. But I know how that goes on the Cardinals side. But, hey, you kicked our ass in 2006. I'm going to start switching back over here. So, Chris Drury, it's a 2-2 count, 2 outs. Rios should begin through the frame clean.
Look out, Max. Here comes Mika. Most points in season opening games. He's right on your tail behind Roger Lynn, the real Walker Chuck, and Andy Bassett. Meanwhile, let's revisit that Jack Eichel answer.
That's an effect of Logan Thompson in hockey games. I mean, that's however I do it. Whether it's nothing offensively or defensively, whatever it is, just we're trying to win hockey games.
That's all it takes. Thanks, Jack.
He's been looking for a little more out of Jack. Well, I love Jack Eichel. I think he's one of the most talented players in the league, and it's a massive game. I'd like to see him to come out there and say, I want to be the best player in the league. I want to win the Stanley Cup and take that assertiveness that the team wants to see from him on and off the ice. Or he's perfect. He doesn't have to be apologetic for saying that he wants to be the best player in the league and win the Stanley Cup. It was a good opportunity for him to be able to do that right there. Grab that microphone. Grab that go. Yeah, he's in the league long enough. He has to understand now what his role is going to be. He's got to be a leader. He's going to sound like a leader on and off the ice. Come on, going to get two great chances. So let's see what happens. Hey, Vegas wants to be good, though. Eichel's got to be great. Absolutely. And after the year for that guy. Yeah, there you go. 1-0 in favor of the Los Angeles Kings. Second period is on the way. You can watch the Lexus first in this group.
So just to update you, I just turned back on the ESPN side, and I'll mark some of these stats down. So it is 16 shots to 7 in favor of VGK, 15 hits to 8, 11 face-offs to 8 in favor of the Kings. There were 2 penalties in the contest and no power play goals yet. So it's been relatively clean, with the exception of that big-time cross-check that we just saw before we went to break, as Mikey Anderson got Michael Amadio pretty good right in the face. So 16 shots that Jonathan Quick had to save. One of those situations where VGK, even with 5 seasons in right now and just starting, they always preach shot volume, and sometimes they can be the better team. And a lot of times when they have that talent, especially within the first 2 or 3 years, they would be the better team by 70 to 30%. But the shot volume would not help them. They need finishing. And like we said, with guys like Mark Stone and Jack Eichel, and they need a bounce back there from William Carlson. That's the finishing that they could have. I'll flip this really quick as the notes are done. So nothing for Vegas in that first. 1 for LA, courtesy of Gabe Villiardi from Quentin Byfield and Alex Iafallo.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you choose left or right because they're both chewy, crunchy, and delicious.
The postseason with the MLB app. You can get daily lineups and watch your live pitch right now. You can get more than that soon. Free app of 150,000 reviews. Trey Turner is at a
So Trey Turner is on the mound against Wilson. It is 5-0 Dodgers still. Sandy Koufax, the 1972 Hall of Famer, 12 seasons with the Dodgers and 3-time Cy Young. Sandy still looks pretty good for where he's at right now. Look, I understand how it is when you get older, but I would take that if I was that old at this point. Again, I'm looking old, 35. We got a lot of gray in the beard. I'm getting gray everywhere now. Trey Turner, 2 for 2, a solo bomb, a double, 2 runs scored, 298 average with 21 bombs and 100 RBIs. So Trey Turner is about as 5-tool, the 5-tool player as you can get. I'm going to have to flip back over, though, here. I just wanted to do that really quick. I know our game is going to start here for the hockey side, and just for doing the official broadcast as I do, Hopeful Sports Guy, I want to make sure you get that in its entirety. So what's going on across the screen of ESPN? Favre denies wrongdoing and welfare scandal. What's going on with him? Brett Favre's school, and he was kind of taking the money. Is that what I see right now? New funds of debt of human services. Oh my goodness, that sounds like Brett Favre. Defense does win championships, especially in hockey. You think about, let's talk about it like this real quick before we get into the action here. Look what the Florida Panthers did last season. They sold all the stuff for Ben Sherratt and picks, Claude Giroux and picks, had the most goals in a season, had some incredible production from Sam Bennett and Sam Reinhart, some of the other guys that could be on the first line because they were doing so good. And what happens when they played their older brothers in Tampa? They got friggin' swept and could not score. Defense there and goaltending shut them down. That's what you need in the postseason. So I know you guys got the voice for me, but now I officially have the recorder, and I think I missed about 3 minutes of action in my official recording here for the Spotify and Apple Podcast side. But this is the Vegas power play that's going to carry over for about 1 minute and 10 seconds. There was a couple of shorthanded goals in our first game in between Tampa Bay and the New York Rangers, so the LA Kings can definitely do that. They have some definite firepower to score shorthanded. It's important that Vegas be able to get some more inroads here for Eichel and Stone, as Shea Theodore will pick this one in up across the red line now. Eichel will play this one across. Stone lost it, and now this goes back to Shea. Shea still holding. This is going to go toward the blue line side, but not all the way back to Logan Thompson. He plays the back pass here as Jack Eichel tries to power play quarterback this thing. Try to toe drag in between 3 Kings defenders. Trying to be like Connor McDavid, but he's not that. But still, Jack Eichel's really good. Again, it's just good to see him back out on the ice. Alex Pietrangelo, the Stanley Cup winner there, 2019 from worst to first for the St. Louis Blues, goes in back through. Pietrangelo gets dumped down the ice, was one of the passes there, and it goes to Logan Thompson. And sorry, I didn't mean to bring that one up about Alex Pietrangelo. I forget who is in the audience. If you could take hearts away, I could understand at that point. But he is an incredible defenseman. Vegas certainly paid him like one. Alex Iafallo off the 5-a-side and tried to shoot it toward the right side of the bar, but Logan Thompson found a piece of it. And now this could be a 3-on-1 for the Golden Knights. Pass across! Beautiful give and go! And the Golden Knights tie this one up between Stone and Thompson. And no chance is Jonathan Marchessault might be getting this goal. So Stone, Thompson, and Jonathan Marchessault, he was the finisher there. It was a 3-on-1, and that is just deer in the headlights there when you're the one defender. Not much that Matt Roy could do there, and that was just great work. And I think that was also Phil Kessel, the hot dog man. So Marchessault, Kessel, and Stone, I believe, teamed up on that one, and they will all get points. So Phil Kessel is one of those journeymen now over the last few years. He played with the Arizona Coyotes the last couple of seasons. Now gets a chance to play with Vegas because Vegas doesn't have a lot of cap space. see what he's got left. I still think Phil's got a lot left in the tank. He's usually one of those fan favorites. I remember him playing a long time for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and when he was left off the Team USA roster, I loved his famous story. I'm just sitting here with my dog thinking about something that I should be doing right now, but I can't figure out what it was. And that was one of those seasons where Team USA lost to Canada because they didn't have Phil Kessel, who was really, really, really good back in the day, like he still is. I know he doesn't have the same physique and shape. He's one of those guys that loves to eat and play and just do his thing. But if you're really good at what you do, who cares if you don't look like Chris Hemsworth? Doesn't really matter. So now the Golden Knights will put this one down the zone as this gets picked up, blasted off the kick play. There's Amadio try to tip it out in front. It's a 1-1 game now with 17:35 left to go in the second stanza as they score on the power play. Vegas Golden Knights picking it up now. As this goes now around, Hutton tries to play it off the backhand, centered out in front, and he found it, but it was a nice stop there by Quick. And honestly, Jonathan Quick, I don't blame him on that goal. It was a 1-on-3. Really isn't anything he can do about it. And now this is going to be another power play here for the Vegas Golden Knights. A little bit of a tough sledding here for the Kings as they really played a little sloppy over the last few minutes. And one of those situations, I can tell you this, from covering the Kings, I'll say about 7 or 8 games. That's just from the start of January. They're normally a team that's very, very disciplined and does not make a lot of mistakes. But here tonight, they've made 2 critical ones there as the cross-check was behind, and the numbers were showing for Alexander Edler as he put Waugh into the glass, and you just can't do that. That is an easy call for the Zebras to make. So at the 17:07 marker, Alexander Edler going to the box. So here's a chance. Chandler Stevenson finds Shea Theodore. Goes back to Stevenson now. Eichel lets it go through the left side of the bar, and that one goes up and on a play. This is going to stay with Vegas. 17 minutes left to go in the second stanza. John on here with you, Nicole from Crypto.com Arena. It's opening night in the NHL season, and again, we'll figure out what my assignment tomorrow is going to be, if it's going to be another hockey game or if it's going to be a baseball game. We'll figure that one out. Theodore gets it back, and this goes to Eichel. Eichel near the left side dot. Centered out in front with Stone. Stone trying to get to it. Arvidsson tries to clear this one away, but Shea Theodore will keep this near the right side blue line. Finds Eichel near the left dot. Lets it go, and that's about Eichel's 6th shot on goal. And Nick, if you're thinking about our NHL exploits, especially from the 12 to 14 days when things were really, really good, and then all the way through the last PS4 sides of it, when I set you up or you set me up on the left side dot in the slot, you let the shot go, and there is no hesitation. And that's what we're seeing for the Eichel side in these snipes. Has not scored yet, but he's not been shy to let those chances go. When they're high danger chances, you let them go. You have to test the goalie. So Stevenson goes all the way down to Logan Thompson. This is going to be Logan Thompson's really first opportunity to get a full blow in an NHL season, and we'll see how he does, because if he does well, he could take Robin Leonard's job despite the contract situation. That's just me. You got to go with the best of what you can do. If the Knights want to get back in the postseason, you take who's going to get you there, whether it's hired guns or goaltenders. So Riley Smith has it. Mark Stone has it. Smith tries to find it. He lost it, and it's dumped down the ice there by the Kings with the 16-minute mark in the second. Check this chat section, excuse me. Again, always stay aggressive. Yes, that's what I like, and that's what you want to be able to see, no matter what it is. It's been a good penalty kill so far, Jeff. I agree with you on that side. Apologize for the momentary cough. That's hopefully the cough drop will help that. Matt Amadio centered this one out in front as Marchessault was also there with William Carlson. Rattled around the kick plate, but kept in. Eichel still holding. Eichel near the right dot now. Vegas' power plays look pretty good too, and the penalty kills look pretty good so far, but Vegas been in the zone. Tried to deflect this one to Phil Kessel with the help of Eichel. And now just trying to get this out again is the Kings, and they bank this one off the kick play. Logan Thompson goes all the way out to the goal crease near the left side red line to play this one. Got to be careful you don't cross that trapezoid line with the goalie. That would be an automatic penalty. So a chance for Pietrangelo. Nice series of moves as he tries to collect this one in the Kings now. With Dursey. We'll get this one down. Dursey still with it. Nice move. Shot on goal. Tries to pick it back up. More on the doorstep. Another shot. Big save there by Thompson. And somehow the Kings did not score. That was about 4 good shots as that got shipped to the players' bench. And that is not a penalty, but that is as close as you can get there for the LA Kings. And Logan Thompson, to his credit, he said no. So let's take a look at this secondary power play. That was Philip Danault with an excellent move. Danault, he got the shot out in front of a dive there from Alec Martinez. Try to get the secondary rebound off the backhand. Danault fans on it. This falls to Trevor Moore. And then Danault tried to get another piece of it. And Logan Thompson was able to slide over to that right side post. So it's Philip Danault and Chandler Stevenson. Usually, if Danault is in the draw, I would always give him the favor to win it. That's just how good I think he is in the defensive zone. Another shot goes just wide as Thompson stopped it with the pad. Matt Roy has it now, and Matt Roy is now going to hold near the right side as Iafallo is being worked over there. Danault is trying to get in as he goes all the way and pries this one loose and behind the right side red line. Rattled around the kick plate. Can the Kings keep this one in? No! Here's a breakout chance for the Golden Knights. Off the backhand. Big save there by Quick. But I even think it was a good back check by the Kings just to stop the Golden Knights from getting any mustard on it, just like their jersey. Matt Amadio tries to find a piece of it with Stone. Stone trying to bounce this off of the kick plate against Quick. And now this stays in the zone. Braden McNabb. Stevenson. They play crisscross. Stevenson will collect now with Zach Whitecloud as he spins this one around the kick plate. McNabb, now to Whitecloud. As they play crisscross and Bruce Cassidy mixes the lines. McNabb in through the traffic. And this gets picked up by the Kings. And they flutter this one across the players' bench. And the Kings say this is away from the players' bench from the Golden Knights. They want a penalty, but if you're anywhere near the players' bench, that's free to do with a neutral zone draw. Jonathan Quick has been excellent. Jonathan Quick looks like the guy from about 12 seasons ago. I think this has been about, 17 seasons. I know they said in the open there for Quick. There was an opportunity there for Matt Roy, excellent defense, and it just stopped the Golden Knights from converting on a pretty much break chance, and Jonathan Quick got the paddle down and made the save. Come right back in from the commercial break. We'll call more of the second period action in a moment. This is an active chat section. I appreciate that, guys. I'm going to check to see your comments. And yeah, that was how did that miss? Oh my God moment. You definitely got that one right, Jeff and Nick on that side. It's yes. When you want to talk about this, Jeff, and I think I will bring this up. And if you follow along with some of the other teams that you have there between the Sharks and the Blues, or if you're just an NHL fan like myself, again, it's ride or die with the Motor City wing wheel, but still NHL fan through and through. Jonathan Quick has been the best of the best of the best, and there's no doubt as soon as he decides to hang up the glove and stick and everything else, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I think it's very important in the term of Jonathan Quick and Cal Peterson. Let me try to find a way to phrase this correctly. Cal Peterson is probably the next in line because Jonathan Quick won't play too many more seasons, but Cal Peterson is already about 27 years of age. So I still think, even though Cal Peterson might be the man over the next couple seasons, I don't think he's going to be the man. I think the LA Kings will have to find a new replacement. Not everybody is going to be Jonathan Quick, but my point being is this: their goaltending is going to need to improve. I don't think Cal Peterson is going to be the answer, but I do think if Todd McClellan and Rob Blake as the GM have their due diligence and their wishes, I would have to believe they'd like to split in an 82-game season where Jonathan Quick plays about 45 and Cal Peterson might play the rest, just to make sure that Jonathan Quick is not injured because they need him. Puck gets iced, so this is going to be a chance for the LA Kings on an offensive zone draw as Bob Wischusen and Leah Hextall is the sideline report on the ESPN side. And I don't want to say this in the wrong light. I know Leah Hextall, daughter of Ron Hextall. She got that job because she has that job. But again, you want more play-by-play in terms of anyone else that can bring you the coverage there. But I've listened to some of those ESPN Plus games with Leah Hextall, and I'm not perfect in any stretch of the imagination, but those ones, oh boy, those ones are rough sometimes. But hopefully she gets more opportunities and get better with it because you need more coverage across any of that side of it. Get back in from the break here. Victor Arvidsson, nice toe drag and hold. He's in behind the cage of Logan Thompson. Centered out for Drew Doughty. He had some space there to shoot off the wrist shot. He's going to go back to Andre Kopitar. Bomb shot, and this one gets held and saved. Let me make sure I have it correctly. That was Mikey Anderson with the bomb. So you're not the only one who thinks that. Seems like a common opinion with the ESPN broadcast. Okay, thank you. I don't want to say anything disparaging. I'm not one of those ones, right? You can say what you want to say when you're not in front of anybody, but still, I'm not like that. I try to be about as objective as possible, and it's just one of those situations. But I agree with you, Jeff. It's pretty bad. And on that side of it, I'll throw another one there. I don't want to just attack all women here, but when Malika Andrews took over for NBA Today, man, she cuts off everybody she even talks to. I know how Kendrick Perkins can sound from time to time, but anyone else that you bring in there, if you have an opinion that she doesn't like, she shows you that stink face and she gets right in your face. So Rachel Nichols got a Showtime job. Malika Andrews is going to be on the ESPN side. Jonathan Quick able to make the save. We get back into the official action right now. This is a 3-on-3. This is going to get dumped and rattle around the kick plate of Logan Thompson as this goes back around. Kept in across the blue line. Mikey Anderson will fire this one right on the catching glove of Thompson, and we'll do this again. Offensive zone draw here for the Kings. 1-1 is your score. 12:20 left to go in the second period. So it's going to be Wednesday, TNT side. Tomorrow, Bruins Caps and Blackhawks Avalanche. If you're going to tune into a hockey game, I would suggest the opener, Bruins Caps, on Wednesday. Those could be two teams. I won't get too far ahead of myself, but two teams that were in the wild card last year in the Eastern Conference, one of them could be out this year. I will leave it at that. Kings win the draw. Goes back to Matt Roy, Logan Thompson, right in the catching glove again, and we will get another face-off. So when we get to those big games or any other regular season, if you see Cooper Hopkins broadcasting, there's a likelihood that I will be in there as well doing the color side. He's got that velvety, smooth butter voice that I don't have, and he brings it just like everything else with the stats. Follow along if you ever see him. If you love hockey and you want to get some secondary coverage, he tries to be as objective as possible, but he will tell you he is the Calgary Flames expert resident there. He's very, very good at what he does, though. So this goes back around. Dursey will spin this down and across the red line now. He flipped it to McNabb, and McNabb will get this one down as Hutton also got a piece of it. 11:55 left to go in the second. It's going to be the LA Kings attacking left to right across your radio dial. Trying to get something going now was Adrian Kempe. So Anze Kopitar, Kempe, and Iafallo, they spent a lot of their time last year with AAA battery line on the first line. They've been split first, second, and third, courtesy of Todd McClellan. And I think that's because you want to give Kevin Fiala that top time. He's very, very good at what he does. White Cloud with a shot, and this goes across the blue line side. And this was Grunstrom that got knocked down and picked up with Dursey. And now the Golden Knights will hit this across the kick plate. Mark Stone, he's got a lot of space. He loves the wrist shot. Bounced out in front, and good defense there by the Kings, but it's not out. Martinez, he was walking around there with Alex Pietrangelo. One-on-one the other way. We'll see if Grunstrom can find it. Good defense there as they were going all the way back where the Golden Knights. That was Stone centered out in front of Thompson. He's holding on to that right post, but it's busy in behind the goal cage. And now the Golden Knights and Jack Eichel can break out across that left wing side. Nice flutter off the backhand, held down by the defense. They rattle this around Quick's cage, but this is near the left side dot. As this goes back around the defense, fired the slap shot, but a beautiful block there by Los Angeles. As this is still in behind the cage or Quick. Now he holds the left post as he's standing up, but he normally likes that butterfly when he has to get down in the little slot. Grunstrom. He wanted to go toward the net, but a long wrist shot gets gloved and held there by Thompson, courtesy of Trevor Moore. Still 1-1 your score. John out here with you from Crypto.com Arena. This is the nightcap of the doubleheader on ESPN. The New York Rangers won the first game, and now Vegas and LA, they are in a barn burner right now, as early as that can be. 983 consecutive games played for Phil Kessel, 989 for Keith Yandel. And the Keith Yandel thing was a little bit of a controversy several years ago because Coach kept him out and broke the Ironman streak when he was in Philadelphia. So Phil Kessel is probably going to get that one as the new long NHL Ironman. First shot gets blocked by Logan Thompson, and here come the Vegas Golden Knights. Jonathan Marchessault, big save. Another one by Quick, a third pad save as he held the left side of the red line. So Jonathan Quick is in his Vezina form, and I don't want to say that too lightly, but he has been stellar in this game as we've hit the halfway marker of a fast-moving second period. Marchessault again, wrist shot gets blocked. Vegas Golden Knights have been heavily outchancing the LA Kings, and that is a surprise to me. But maybe you feel a little bit of rejuvenation there with Phil Kessel and with Jack Eichel, and some renewed hope there with Mark Stone. Walks in, and the Kings were stopped there by Logan Thompson as this goes by the right side dot. Held in now. Kevin Fiala tried to find a piece of this as he plays it to Anze Kopitar. Fiala now still trying to hold. Here's a chance for Kopitar. He tried to flutter it near an open right side dot, but it was intercepted by the Golden Knights up the takeaway. It's a 4-on-2, so the Golden Knights will go back into their own end, try to make a change, and William Carlson was trying to be the first to get to it, but he got knocked off the puck. Kings, no penalty called there, and it wasn't onside. Alex Iafallo tried to get a pass right into the middle of the slot. Here comes VGK. Big time save there by Jonathan Quick. So the best player on the ice, according to either team right now, according to my eyes, and yes, I got 4 of them with the glasses, it's been Jonathan Quick. He's been excellent. So here's a chance for Zach Whitecloud. He's on the third line defense here for Bruce Cassidy. He was one of the better defenders all year. As VGK ices the puck, it's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Kings. And dare I say it, get something going here if you're LA. So Quick is holding the Kings on his back, and Jeff, as you know, that's something that he's done throughout his career. Yes, I know it's been the best numbers that he's had around the .915 save percentage mark over the last 4 years, but it's just been health for Quick and nothing else. I don't think it's a decline in ability. Although he's getting up in age, he's still really damn good. He's just got to stay healthy. 8:41 left to go in the middle stanza. We're in the middle of a tie game, 1-1 Vegas and the LA Kings. Kings win the draw. Doughty had the wrist shot, almost bounced back to him, but this goes to Mikey Anderson instead. And again, I'm trying to adjust my eyes to the LG C1 4K, and jealous would be normally you're playing video games on it, but when you're watching a stream, it's only 720p. So well, I'm trying to make this not hurt my eyes, and I was trying to do all the advertent work to get ready for the NHL season. So if I don't always get all the name call-outs, hopefully I can improve that as we go along, because 720p from 4K doesn't look as good as it should when you got a nice TV. So Anderson and Doughty with the slap shot, but it gets blocked again. Golden Knights off to the races. Eichel off the backhand, beautifully played, right on in front for Kessel. And is that going to be a penalty? Yes, that is a hook against the Kings, because that was an excellent work there by Eichel to drop it right to Kessel. And instead of giving up an automatic goal, or maybe another opportunity that Quick had to just be on his P's and Q's, the Kings elect to take a penalty at the 7:50 marker of the second period. I think he had to take it, and that's what they're saying on the ESPN side. I think I would agree with them on that one. So when we come back into the action, let's call the power play here for the Golden Knights. Come right back. Guys, again, I appreciate it very, very much. Just be able to hang out and have fun. And everybody on the YouTube side that's coming in and leaving likes, I appreciate that very much. Again, I will be here throughout the entirety of the regular season and through the playoffs. Probably in the playoffs, be more of the joint calls, and I will have some special guests. It won't always be me riding solo, but you know how these things are. These are usually solo endeavors, just like many things in life, and you can take that whether to be as kinky or as true as you would like it to be. That is life. Sometimes things get more complicated when you involve a bunch of other people, if you know what I'm saying. So a minute, or let's say an hour 25 into this broadcast right now. So this will get over before the 5-hour marker. That was the Guardians and Rays when that was a 15-inning baseball affair. I didn't think I was going to make it. Nick the Gamer had to come in there and save my bacon around the 14th inning because voice was getting a little bit hoarse at that point. So in the middle of the second period action right now, let's look at the team stats. 26-17, so the Kings have rebounded a little bit, but still, I mean, Jonathan Quick, 25 saves already. 18-15 on the faceoff dot in favor of the Kings, and we'll see what happens here with the secondary power play because it is Victor Arvidsson going to the box. So back into the official action, the Kings win the defensive zone draw as Victor Arvidsson went in the box. 2 minutes for Slash and Jack Eichel. It's 1-1 with 7:35 left to go in the second period. And this is the third power play of VGK. They have yet to score with the extra man, or I should say maybe they got one. Let me double check that to see if that was a power play goal. That was not. That was Jonathan Marchessault with his first of the season with Logan Carlson at the 141 mark. So it'll be 0 for 3 if they don't score on this power play. 5-3 Padres, or 3-5 Padres say there. So the Dodgers are coming back. So yeah, I misspoke that too because I was reading that in order. So 5-3 Dodgers. We're going to check that out when we get a break and get into the second intermission. I'm going to flip that back over and we will check that one out. So Vegas, still a minute left to go in their power play. As they get knocked off the puck here, this has been all sorts of intrigue even for the first game of the regular season. I will just say this as fair as I can. More intrigue on the Golden Knights side as far as what type of team are we actually going to see. This is a big-time game, and a lot of pundits and NHL experts are predicting that the LA Kings could finish first in the Pacific. This is a big-time game for the Golden Knights, and I think they really want to go get this one tonight. It's important that they do so. So this goes back to Alex Pietrangelo, and Pietrangelo has 20 seconds left to work with on the power play. So Vegas are 15 seconds away from going 0 for 3 on the third power play because this one is one of my favorite terms, window dressing. Much ado about nothing here. Not much going on. 5:55 left to go in the second stanza as the power play is now cleared with the one last dump down the ice. So return to full strength. 5:40 left to go in the second. John and I are with you with the ESPN coverage if you want to follow along on your local cable or stream. It is the regular ESPN. And when this period ends in the second, we will go back between the Dodgers and the Padres on FS1. Victor Arvidsson with the wrist shot right in the catching glove of Logan Thompson. So time for the LA Kings, I think, within the last 5:29. Get some shots on goal. Test Logan Thompson a little more. I don't think he's had to be a little too scared about some of the chances that he's saving. Got to get a little closer to the net, get in the slot, and test it. Come right back. We'll call the last 5:29 of the second stanza. So I'm not going to flip the channel yet because I know that there's still the period going on, but I can check the box score here. So 5-3 Dodgers in the bottom of the fifth. Mike Clevenger for the Padres. He only pitched 2 2/3. Don't know if that was an injury situation or just the fact that he got lit up. He gave up 6 hits, 4 earned runs. He earned 3 strikeouts. Let me get this name here. Steven Wilson, not to be confused with the guy in MLB Network, an inning and a third, 2 strikeouts. And who just checked in for the Padres is Pierce Johnson. Julio Urias is still out there. 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, and 6 strikeouts. So 3 runs for the Padres in the 5th inning. That made it a 5-3 lead now for the Dodgers instead of 5-0. 5-6-0 for the Dodgers. 3-4-1 on the box for the Padres. The one hockey game, let's keep you abreast of that. It was 3-1 Rangers with the win. It was Mika Zibanejad in the second period, scored shorthanded from Jacob Trouba, Keandre Miller, then Steven Stamkos on the power play from Nikita Kucherov and Braden Point. Good to see him back on the ice at the 9:09 mark. Third period, it was all Rangers. One for Mika Zibanejad again on the power play from Artemi Panarin and Chris Kreider, and then Barclay Goodrow closed out the 11-minute marker from Ryan Lindgren and Ryan Carpenter. And that was the final there for the Rangers. Back into the action there, stick save there by Logan Thompson, but the puck is with the LA Kings. Matt Waugh lets it go. Roy, I keep doing that. Matt Roy lets it go, and that one goes up off of a couple of sticks, bounces back to the LA Kings. They can't get it out off the backhand side as Dursey tries to find it. Gets picked up now by Stone. Tried to separate the puck was Victor Arvidsson, but he cannot. Still holding off the backhand. Stone, they can't get him off the puck right now as he's near the right side dot. This goes back to Braden McNabb through all sorts of bodies. And this one goes back as this gets fired down the red line. Cleared. Victor Arvidsson couldn't find it. And now this goes back to Stone. Stone will send her a back pass. And this goes back to Matamanio. And now the Vegas Golden Knights. Golden Knights will pick this one up now. Off the backhand side, stop the side by Quick with the stick. And this goes back now to Kempe. But it's turned around to Vegas. And another penalty, maybe, no, not called, as that was Nicholas Waugh that got knocked down. He got cross-checked in the back. It fell back to Quick. He made the save somehow off the lively end boards. So Jonathan Quick has been doing yeoman's work in this contest, and the ESPN replays are going to be going through the series of saves that Quick has made, and they will go by quickly because this guy has been all over the ice. And let's be honest, if it wasn't for Jonathan Quick right now, this could easily be a game that is 3-1 Golden Knights, not 1-1, because he's been that good, and the shot volume has been that good for Vegas. So 28 saves out of 29 opportunities here for Quick. About as calm, cool, and collected as you like. We'll go back into the ESPN box score for the hockey game that we're covering tonight between the Golden Knights and the LA Kings, as bodies are everywhere off the right side faceoff dot and Walker. We'll get this one to Alexander Edler. So third line defense is out there for Tom McClellan's squad, former San Jose Sharks coach, as he picks this one up off the dasher as the Golden Knights defense. Going to get picked up now. Marchessault lets it go, but it just whistled wide of the right post. Marchessault into the traffic. It got deflected and went off the stick of Quick. And now this goes back there to Edler. Edler will flub this one around the kick plate as some of the defense can go ahead and take some changes if they wish. Got to be a little bit tired. They've been out there for about a minute 30. You normally want your shifts to be around a minute time at most. But if you're getting to the playoffs, it's probably 2 minutes if you got some of your best players when they just can't get off the ice. Kings try to buzz, but none of those shots got to Logan Thompson. And off the backhand, good defense there as that got cut off. William Carlson able to find it. Kings want a penalty call, but they're not going to get one. And they're going to go ahead and take some changes since they're already there. Marchessault wanted that one-timer pass, but it didn't fall to him. Was Mikey Anderson. Got the intercept. As this goes back to Victor Arvidsson. Now Kevin Fiala will touch up on the right side dot. Picked up now by Alex Pietrangelo. He tries to play this one across to Eichel. Kessel. And this one got dumped down the ice again by the Kings. And behind the net there of Logan Thompson. It's been a really good contest so far. And although the scoreline doesn't say it's one-sided, sometimes it feels like it. Eichel with a nice move, but he lost the puck. It was good defense there by the Kings, but it's turned over in their own end. Eichel tries to recollect there with Phil Kessel. Kessel now. A bongo by McNabb. And McNabb has to go back, and so does Shea Theodore before things get a little dangerous here as the Kings were buzzing. Theodore and McNabb try to clear this one down the ice to Eichel. McNabb still being worked over near the blue line side, and this goes down the ice. This is not an icing. Shea Theodore will go get a chance to move this one with Braden McNabb, his defensive partner. Shea Theodore will wrap this one on kick plate. Big time hit on the other side, but it went into the player's bench, and somebody was slow to get up. That was one of the Vegas Golden Knights and Chandler Stevenson. As we get a commercial to commercial side, so no stoppage. John out here with you. 2:04 left to go in the second stanza. It's 1-1 in the contest between the Golden Knights and the LA Kings. Who are your goal scorers? Jonathan Marchessault was the latest one in the second period of the 141 mark, assisted by William Carlson. Gabe Biliardi scored at 10:36 in the opening frame for Gordon Byfield and Alex Iafallo. And that's where we're at right now. Minute 55 in the second. Golden Knights trying to break out right to left across the timeline. Kings will be going left to right for the rest of this minute 45 across your radio dial. Thank you for listening across the Colorcast and YouTube side of where we are today. This is the Golden Knights and the LA Kings, the NHL opener on Tuesday night. This is the nightcap on ESPN. Golden Knights now look to try to make something happen, but it's 4-on-2. Good defense there by the Kings and Philip Danault. What else is new? So Alex Iafallo lost it. Anze Kopitar tried to get a piece of it as well. And this one goes down the ice, so it's going to be an offensive zone draw here upcoming for the LA Kings, and the Golden Knights cannot change with a $1:20 left to go in the second frame. So Bob Wischusen is talking about on the ESPN side, can Jonathan Quick find the fountain of youth? I don't think he's ever really need to find it. He just needs to kind of keep playing the same way that he's been playing. I just think he needs to find the fountain of health a little bit as that shot goes a little bit wide. This goes back to Matt Roy. Matt Roy will find this one now with Victor Arvidsson. Arvidsson tried to leave it there for Roy, but this goes back now to Kempe, and I follow. Roy lets it go for the screen. Thompson down. Where is it? It's in a host of humanity between White Cloud, and now we have some coming together. Now they're down in the middle of the paint there between White Cloud, and one of the LA Kings are on top of them throwing some punches. So now we finally have a little bit of fisticuffs with a minute left to go as White Cloud was getting his lunch fed to him as he was on the bottom of the scruffle there. Was that Philip Danault? And we'll see if there's going to be a penalty called on any of this. Usually, when you see these situations, it's usually offsetting. We have a cross-checking penalty, so that's going to tell me that that's not the case. And let's look and see who this is going to be on. So right now I have a headlock and hold and Philip Danault and a couple punches. I have a hook and hold there for Ben Hutton. None of this stuff is official. This is just what I'm relaying to you on the ESPN side. Is a little bit of chaos here. Right now it's got VGK in the box. Zach Whitecloud for cross-checking with a minute left. Again, another minute will carry over if the LA Kings do not score. Cross-check to the back. That's a good one. Good call there by you, Jeff. I think there was a lot going on there that could have been called, but the cross-check was the one that was, and no other offsetting at that. LA Kings just flubbed this one inconceivably, and Drew Doughty has to reset there. So Drew Doughty, let me get back into my depth chart here when we get the second, as this goes back to Arvidsson on the power play line, but it would normally be Mikey Anderson and Drew Doughty. Usually on the power play, it's 4 forwards and 1 defenseman, but I think we got a 4-on-4 now. We got a slashing against the Kings. So that is something that can be undoing here. So 4-on-4 with a new sheet of ice going into the third. So Kevin Fiala is going to go to the box. And we'll see what he did. He got the elbow right in the face of one of the VGK players. So you got a cross check. You almost got a stick to the face, and then you definitely got an elbow to the face, courtesy of Kevin Fiala. A legal check to the head. 2-minute minor. So a lot going on within the last couple of, not even a minute, the last couple of 40 seconds here. As Tom McClellan looks a little bit older, does he not there, Jeff? In terms of being able to watch along. And we'll see if the spit and chicklets, as the podcast would say, look on the bench there, kind of shaking up the mouth and the cobwebs on the player's bench. You could say that again. Yeah, I thought, get your opinion, I thought you'd pick up on that one. He looks a little bit like he's aged in terms of that, but I imagine being a head coach in the NHL can be a little bit of a stressful job. So let's see what happens here. So incorrectly, the Chiron says Vegas power play. That is not correct. It's a 4-on-4 right now. So that Chiron will have to be corrected. It's a 4-on-4 here for the rest of the period, at least, if nobody scores. And then we'll continue on into the third. Now, what the hell do we have going on here, ladies and gentlemen? Somebody throw something on the ice? the refs are talking amongst themselves, and the players are still waiting to get into the face-off circle near the right dot. And they just keep showing the top of the scoreboard. Don't know if there was an unruly fan. I think that's might have been what they've been talking about, and they wanted to look away because it's got to be so PG, but everybody else can say what they want to say on Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff on social media. So how does that work? But back under the action right now, 25 seconds left. Here's a chance at the 4-on-4 with more space. Jonathan Marchessault tried to bank this one off of kick, and now Adrian Kempe has a chance. He can race quickly left to right across the timeline. Kempe turning on the Jets. Blocker saved by Thompson. Second save by Thompson. And now 8 seconds left to go. White Cloud will pick this one up with Pietrangelo. Carlson now. They're onside. Big time shot. One goes just wide and on play. So with just under 2 seconds left to go in the second, we will get one more draw before we go into the third period action. And thankfully, Nicky didn't have a big bet there, so you won't have to sweat too much if you only lose $10 right now. But one of these situations where it's been a one-sided contest at times in favor of VGK, but Jonathan Quick has been excellent. There really isn't any other superlative that you can use. So Logan Thompson, 20 saves. 21 saves, I should say, out of 22 shots. 4-on-4 for about 44 seconds. Unless we get something right here, and we do not. Off the face-off draw, so after 2, we are tied up at 1. We got some 4-on-4 time, and then we're going to get an abbreviated Vegas power play a little bit after when we start the third. I'm going to flip over here to the baseball game momentarily, get the notes in, and we'll keep you guys figured out what's going on in these 2 games. Come right back in the official action. It'll be third period action between the Golden Knights and the Kings, tied at 1. So I'm going to turn that on right now, because I know at least we have about, I'll say 12, 13 minutes usually, and then I got to flip back over, but we will do that. So it's still 5-3 Dodgers. Manny Machado is at the plate. He's going up against Evan Phillips. It's a 1-1 count. And Machado got under that one, but he still was strong enough to follow it down the left field line. And we're going to do this again at 1-2. So I'm going to try to keep you up to date as far as the score. So if you hear me typing away a little bit, I apologize, but I can cut my mic if it gets a little too distracting. I'm just going to move the phone a little bit away. Chris Drury is on deck. He's 0 for 2 in this game. So 2-2 count now on the Machado. Off-speed pitch missed out from the zone. Guys have any thoughts on what happened to the New York Mets? Phillips taking a long time, and now he steps off the mound. And Machado's going to bounce this one down the third base line. Phillips wanted it to go foul. It does not. It puts 2 men on first and second with no outs for the San Diego Padres. It'll bring up Chris Drury. And if he hits a bomb here at the top of the 6th with no outs, this could be a brand new ball game. So I thought it said Chris Drury, and then I see Josh Bell on the on-deck circle. Don't know if there's going to be a managerial switch here. Obviously, we haven't been able to keep in the situation of everything in this game because of covering the hockey game, so I apologize. So Josh Bell is going to pinch hit here for Chris Drury. And for all the superlatives that you can say about Josh Bell not being as good since coming over from the trade, you know what? You lay a cookie in there, this could easily be a 6-3 scoreline. And what once was a 5-0 lead for the Dodgers can turn around very quickly. He was 3 for 13 in the series against the Mets with a home run and 2 RBI. So it's a 1-1 count as that one just caught the bottom right of the box on a fastball. Perfect pitch there by Evan Phillips, and Josh Bell has a chance to be the hero for the moment. Again, a base hit, anything will do you station to station at this point. I don't think the Padres are going to care too much. He swung right through the fastball, and that fastball was a cookie. He just missed it. 1-2 for Bell. Big pitch coming up. Fastball. He follows it down the first base line near the Padres dugout, and we're going to reset this one. The Mets just melted. That's all I can say. Yeah, I think so. When I think about it too, Jeff, and that side of it, for the Tigers, it was Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander on the same team. Verlander got bailed out today, but to see both those guys get shelled in back-to-back outings surprised me. I know they're 39 and 38 respectively. Josh Bell stays alive again. But yeah, they melted, and they're going to have a long off season. And Buck Showalter, I don't know how long his deal is, but he might decide that's a one and done situation because you got a team like that and you don't get it done. I understand. Oh, it's the Mets. It's that situation because it's the Mets. I get people will say that, but that lineup is really good. That pitching the bullpen's really good. Can't do that. I don't care if it's the Padres or not. Josh Bell again. That was right a borderline strike, and he fouls that one away as he should. He keeps the up at alive. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Phillips gets Bell, and that's a big time strikeout there, although there's still 2 more outs to work with. Josh Bell gets the punchy, and we still got 2 more left. So do I cover any soccer? Someone would have to help me if I was going to cover soccer. I have never done and covered a soccer game before. I know some of the rules. I know enough, but I just don't know the players and I'm not familiar. But the World Cup might be the time where I go ahead and try to get my feet wet. It's going to be bad, and it would probably be more of a practice run, but I would be down to do it. I just want to be honest. So Will Myers with 1 L and no batting gloves will step in right now as he pulls the bat back, and it's 1 L. Soccer is your main sport. Now, do you do any play-by-play? Do you do any color, or do you just love to watch it and listen? And who's your team? Because I can't be unfair and say, U.S. or whatever, because you love your. I mean, you could like a bunch of different players, a bunch of different teams. There's no bias here. Alex Vesia is warming up here for the Dodgers. And Myers swung right through it. And Myers was able to get a piece of that down the postseason marker there, on the back end of it at least. And he keeps it alive. It's a 1-2 count. Still runner on first and second here for the Padres, trying to get back into this game. They were down by as much as 5-0. It is 5-3. So I've never done any commentary at all, but I love watching them playing. U.S. and Brazil national teams respectively, so that's cool, but I don't have a favorite club team until St. Louis gets an MLS team next year. That's pretty cool. Yeah, MLS, I mean, look, I understand. I think toward the later end of people's careers, you get the chance to see some other players that aren't coming over and then come into the MLS. But I think as you get more teams, as you get more revenue and things like that, it becomes more of an attractive option. So as any kind of league grows, you're going to be able to attract better talent there, and that'll be fun to see. So that's another good thing in St. Louis. Really good sports town. Will Myers, will this be a double play? It is a double play. The Dodgers get out of it there. Phillips does the job. Vesia was warming up. It's still 5-3 in favor of the Dodgers. That was a big-time opportunity there for the Padres, but it goes by the wayside as we head to the bottom of the sixth. I'm going to flip back over here now, and I'm going to grab my iPhone charger. I appreciate you hanging around, Jeff, and staying up late with me. I know this is a later game. If I had my preference, and I don't care, hockey is hockey, basketball, I'll cover any of that stuff. If I had my preference, it probably would be like a 7 o'clock game. But 10:30, I had some family obligations earlier throughout the day. This has been a really good contest, so I'm not going to complain.
Number 4, Lord Stanley took a slip and slide, courtesy of Eric Johnson. That's good fortune right there. That's part of his training, I guess. Yeah, that's good. Well, kids are having fun anyway. At number 3, how about boat cruise? McCall and Logan down the Bow River Academy. Yeah, right in the middle of Calgary. Their disappointment, that's rubbing salt into the wound, but they think for them, look like they're having a great time. They lose the series, lose all the play in Calgary, they got to watch that. Number 2, how about a hometown welcome?
So I will be right back, probably about another minute.
Crosby, take the McCann takes it back over the break. Does not get any better than bringing the cup home to your hometown and sharing with all the people. This is one of my proudest moments, bringing the family cup to my home in St. Albert and sharing with all the people. And coming in at number 1, this was significant for a variety of reasons. How about Nazem Kadri taking the cup into a mosque in London, Ontario? First time Stanley Cup has ever been in a mosque. So truly significant for a variety of reasons there. Give me the best and worst experience you had with the Stanley Cup.
I'll go best. I'm gonna name drop here. Kid Rock, Eddie Vedder, Dennis Rock. Nice Chili. All together on stage at a bar called Sally's in Chicago. It could get any better with a live band.
The worst?
Brett left it, dropping the cup in my bar, and then we lose it for 2 hours because they had to go solder it back together. So that was brutal.
Messi was 94. I know you guys wore it out in Manhattan a little bit.
Oh, we did. We had a great time that night. I don't think we missed too many places. So, with the worst, I can't say a worst. We had a little bond or a little damage to it. Yeah, nothing serious whatsoever.
No.
Just had a type of screw.
Might take it to ballet.
Maybe once or twice, whatever.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Awesome. Exactly. Go back to that hard-hitting interview with Brett Messi Cobb. 1-1 after 40 to launch of the Discovery Second Division.
So,
The new iPhone 14 Pro. It's amazing.
yeah, the camera's incredible. And we'll get our best deal.
Nice. But everyone should get it.
Everyone can get it.
Every new customer.
And every existing customer.
Every iPhone.
Every iPhone.
Every iPhone.
Every
Okay. My work here is done. Everyone gets the best deal on every iPhone.
Best one yet.
Everyone gets AT&T's best deals on every iPhone, including up to $800 off iPhone 13 Pro.
Are you coming for my job? This is not a drill. For a limited time at Domino's, get 20% off everything at menu price when you order online. Pizza, 20% off. Specialty pizza, 20% off. Anything that's not pizza, yep, you know the drill. Except it's not a drill. It's 20% off everything.
Okay, so if you're still with me, let me check into the chat box. It's only 10 where I'm at, so it's not that bad. It's a season opener. I got to stay up. So how did you learn to do commentary and learn all the players' names? So here's the thing. When I went to school or in college, okay, so college would be not just like community college, but maybe like 2011 or whenever I graduated. So I'm 35. I'm pretty old now. So the guy that used to do play-by-play for the Lions, the Detroit Pistons, Mark Champion, I took his class. I think it was like radio broadcasting, right? And I have cerebral palsy. So one of those situations where, yeah, I can't travel and get the job and stuff that I'd like to do, but it's a passion of mine. I've always followed sports. Obviously, can't play sports, but sports have always been a big part of my life. Red Wings, things like that. I enjoyed it. I did an assignment in his class. I think we called like a basketball thing with Kobe Bryant and against the Pistons, right? So we did the assignment, and at the end of it, he goes, John, you got to be able to work on, getting rid of some of the repetitive words and not saying some of the other things and getting more practice. And he goes, you've done a really good job with it, and I want you to keep at it. If you're passionate about it, keep at it. Doesn't matter where it goes. Just keep working on it. Keep writing, because I went to school for journalism. That's what I graduated, got a journalism degree for. Worked at the local paper over here. I enjoyed all that stuff. Obviously, COVID and everything else kind of changed, the market and things like that. Got to adapt and work from home. So, you know what? Not a lot of money for me and all that stuff to make, but I figured at the start of January was when I got into the Colorcast side. I've been doing it ever since. I just started doing the YouTube stuff probably about a couple months ago. And then now the Twitter Spaces thing is out. I'm just going to broadcast, write, get my stuff out there as much as possible. But the players' names, because I'm streaming on the TV here, and I got the computer in front of me, the easy thing that you can do if you wanted to do this is, especially for hockey, I know this is true, you go to Google search, type in a team name, and then put CBS Sports after that. And you go in the depth chart. You got all the player names in front of you. So, yeah, generally, you and I are going to have good ideas of our own teams and who's going to be on the first line and things like that. But as we go along throughout the season and you do it, it just gets easier and easier and easier, right? Because you start to see all of those same names over and over and over. It was one of those things I started a lot with the NBA, and that's a lot easier to follow. I just started doing hockey last year in January, but I've always done NBA. So if I can do NBA and NHL, it's fast moving, same kind of pace. You get used to the rhythm and all that. Baseball is rough because there's a lot of downtime. You have to have stats and homework and preparation. So if you have stats, homework, and preparation, you get a little bit of a flow. You just enjoy what you're doing, and you kind of just let it go naturally. If you make a mistake, you just move on and you keep going so people don't notice it. and you just keep practicing. And that's how I got into it, and that's how I learned some of that stuff. Hopefully that helped a little bit and wasn't too confusing. I don't have any life advice here for you. I just know it's a thankless job, and if you want to do it, you're not going to have fanfare, you're not going to have fans. You just got to keep at it because you're passionate about it. That's what I would say. Back into the official action right now in our game. It's Vegas and the LA Kings 1-1. John out here with you at Crypto.com Arena. And again, I can't believe I'm saying that because it's no more Staples Center. So it's right to left across your radio dial here for the LA Kings. If they choose to attack, they've spent the last 20 seconds in their own zone. And then left to right here for the Vegas Golden Knights. We'll see what happens with the Golden Knights in their season opener. Because again, I think a lot of the pressure is on them with some of these new pieces. And you want to see a healthy Jack Eichel. Nice slap shot set up beautifully there from Doughty to Arvidsson. And this went right in the catching glove of Logan Thompson. And for all intents and purposes, we know about Jonathan Quick, right? We know about all of his accolades. He's going to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt to me. But for Logan Thompson on the other side, what's he going to do in his first course of action? Yes, we know Robin Lehner is there. But Logan Thompson, I think, is one of those ones that's going to get the bevy of the action here for the most part. And again, no Lawrence Francois here for Vegas. So this is Logan Thompson's net. They did pick up Aiden Hill from waivers. And we'll see what ends up happening with him if he gets more time. So chance there. Arvidsson goes just wide, and this goes back into the defensive end of the Vegas Golden Knights. Alex Iafallo, part of the AAA battery line, tried to find it now off the 4-on-4. He's got it, but he can't keep it in across the blue, and they have to turn back and reset. It's a 2-on-3. Kaliev with Blake Lizotte lets it go. Blake Lizotte let the shot go, and he just missed it. So 4 seconds left to go on the 4-on-4, and then it's going to be an abbreviated Vegas power play. Their fourth of the game. So helped a lot. Awesome to hear your perspective. Thank you. Hey, I appreciate that, man. It's just something, again, I'm 35. Hopefully you're younger than I am. The younger that you are, when you get a chance to start on it, the better off you'll be. Just practice. And I think a streaming stick, I will say that too. The streaming stick will help a lot. If you use that Amazon 4K Fire Stick, especially when you don't have cable in your room, you can use the streaming stick, connect to a cable service. You got ESPN Plus. That's not too much throughout the year, maybe $100. NBA League Pass, if you bought NBA 2K Championship Edition, well, there you go. You got League Pass. And just practice and have fun with it. That's how I would do it. So Vegas power play, their fourth of the night, will end. This bounces in front of Quick, and it goes in off the third shot. And Vegas takes the lead, courtesy of Jack Eichel. And that was 2 rebounds too many. And Jack Eichel gets on the board. So whether or not you like Jack Eichel, watching this game so far, again, I know it's just the season opener. Man, that was a gorgeous bounce. So Riley Smith takes the shot. It bounces off the post, bounces back to Eichel's skate blade, goes to his stick, puts it in. That was the best bounce you could ever have. Jack's first of the season. Yes, it is, Jeff. And yeah, I mean, he's looked really good tonight. Wouldn't you say? Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a lucky bounce. Still good time for him to be poised to put that from the skate to the stick, no doubt about that. But he's looked good tonight. There's nothing else you can say other than that. He's put a lot of shots on goal, and he's been active. So Kings finding themselves probably, for my liking, and again, sorry, Nick, you might be down $10 because I told him to take the Kings because Logan Thompson was in goal. So shows what I know, and shows what I know in terms of if you ever have to pick NFL games against the spread. Sometimes you get situations where you get backdoor covers, or if you're the Lions, you get blown up by the Patriots during 20 points. So never can tell sometimes, but there's still plenty of time with 18-15 left to go in this contest for the Kings Bell to tie it up, but they're trailing now, courtesy of Jack Eichel. Makes it 2-1 Vegas. So neutral zone draw. Picked up now by the LA Kings. Try to get gloved down there by Alex Iafallo. Anze Kopitar trying to join in there as Matt Waugh gets knocked off the puck, and this time it was Nicholas Waugh, and I did said that correctly. It's Nicholas Waugh and Matt Roy for the Kings. You want to get those one right. It's spelled the same, but it sounds different. So, Kopitar, spin, in behind the cage of Logan Thompson, plays this off the kick plate to Alexander Edler. Third line defense is out there right now. Edler gets it across from the defensive partner, and this is between Sean Walker. Goes back to Iafallo. He gets it back to Edler. Edler now keeps it alive across the blue line. Tried to spin this one out in front, but this gets picked up by the mustard jerseys there of VGK. Glove down. Here come the Kings. Here's a chance off of the backhand and held. And this goes around the left side, red one. Kings still trying to find their way through. They're down a goal now with 17:10 left to go in the third period. John out here with you from Crypto.com Arena. It's opening night of the ESPN coverage, game 2 of the nightcap between Vegas and the LA Kings. Trevor Moore will rattle this around the kick plate. And now this gets picked up by Hutton. Hutton and Whitecloud are the defensive pairings out there with Bruce Cassidy. Race to the puck now, but this is won by the Kings. And the Golden Knights are able to get this into the zone as Mark Stone, also with Jack Eichel, has been very, very effective in their two-way game. It's been noticeable. Kings blow a tire in their own end of the blue line. Loose out in front, but can't be held. Pass across from Adabadio. This is still in through the Golden Knights, and this goes back around to Jonathan Quick. And he must have been seeing some trains attacking him from left to right, going all across the tracks. Puck is loose out in front again. Blocked by Drew Doughty. He has been the best player on the ice right now. Adrian Kempe, by his lonesome, needs some help. It's a 1-on-4. He's going to rattle this around the office to Kevin Fiala. He got punished on his heavily padded wallet against Logan Thompson's net. And this goes back. I follow a pass across the Kopitar. Thompson down. King score. Kempe makes it 2-2. Man, those were some sick goals that we just saw, Jeff, on both sides. And this has been a sick game. And I hope that you're enjoying it because I'm enjoying it myself. Crazy arena name, a goal, F yeah, OMG, I get it. Yes, we can swear on the Colorcast side. It's free on the YouTube side. I try to keep things diplomatic because you never know who's listening on the YouTube side. They're always listening. But, yeah, that is a heck of a goal there, man. And let's look at it here. Jersey, cross pass, Anze Kopitar waits. Logan Thompson out behind the net finds Adrian Kempe with a room service dime. And we got a new hockey game at 2-2. And I know this is regular season game number 1 for both teams, but I would be remiss to tell you that this isn't an excellent game right now. I'm enjoying this one. Glad I've been able to enjoy the nightcap because it feels like it could have been a better game than the most anticipated opener in the Eastern Conference Final between the Lightning and the Rangers. So 2-2 now. Kempe from Kopitar. Here comes Arvidsson. He tried to throw one in the slot, but nobody was home. And we'll see if Vegas can break out now, but it's 3-on-3. Vegas will check up near the right side faceoff dot, and the shot goes right into the breadbasket of Quick, and he's going to hold on. 15:23 left to go into the third. It was Adrian Kempe who just scored, part of that AAA line. So let's see who got the assist on the primary and secondary from what we have. So Adrian Kempe from Anze Kopitar and Sean Jersey at the 4:02 mark after Jack Eichel just scored at 1:27 from Chandler Stevenson and Riley Smith. So anyone that's followed along and anyone that listens on Spotify, I hope a sports guy, but anyone that's followed along on Colorcast, the YouTube side, I humbly appreciate it. This has been a fun contest so far. And who knows? We could get some 3-on-3 OT, maybe a shootout. We'd like to see that in the first game. So Vegas now in their own defensive end as Alexander Edler. We'll get this here from his defensive partner. Again, I will pull up my Kings depth chart. So it's Edler and Walker. Those are the ones that keep tripping me up. Sean Walker was a new addition here for the Kings coming into the offseason along with Kevin Fiala. So this is going to be an offensive zone draw off the hybrid icing picked up by Edler. So we'll see what the Kings can do with an offensive zone draw of 14:55 left to go in the third. Let me give you a scoring update while we have a commercial check-in where Leah Hextall will go back into our Major League Baseball coverage. It is still 5-3 in the top of the seventh. The Padres are up at bat. Offensive zone draw here. And Dano lost it, so the Golden Knights have possession. They flutter this one down, race for the puck. the Golden Knights are offside. They're going to check up across the red line. And there was Jonathan Marchessault, former Florida Panther. You got to wonder how the Florida Panthers are feeling now with Matthew Tkachuk coming over from the Calgary Flames in that trade. There was a lot to give up in terms of Cole Schwint, a first-round Mackenzie Weegar, and Jonathan Huberdeau, as Calgary had probably one of the most wild off seasons you could ever imagine. And if I get a chance to talk with Cooper Hopkins on Thursday, if it's Golden Knight or Avalanche and Flames, that could be a hell of a contest for us to do, where you have a two-man booth where I'll be on color and Cooper Hopkins will be doing the play-by-play. If that happens, you have to check that one out because that's always fun. 14 minutes left to go in the third. Kings looking to break out right to left. Beautiful pirouette. Kings off the bar. As that one just went wide of Thompson there. That was a good outlet. I think that might have been Iafallo that was going all the way down. Shot goes right off Thompson, right into the catching glove, and he holds. So when we were looking for the Kings to be able to make some traction in this third period, Trevor Moore almost had a bid there with Dursey off the help in the breakout to make something happen. Come back. We're going to call more of the third period action moment. The Kings have just tied it, courtesy of Adrian Kempe from Anze Kopitar, the captain. You smell an OT. That's what I think I feel right now in this game. Alec, how are you doing, man? Welcome back. We're kind of just going through in between the baseball game and the hockey game that we're covering right now. But if you want to get the full coverage there from Logan Antonio, he is there for you as far as the Dodgers and the Padres. This is a good contest right now. We are tied all square at 2. So again, your goal scorers in the third were Jack Eichel at the 127 mark from Chandler Stevenson and Riley Smith, and then Adrian Kempe from the captain Anze Kopitar and Sean Dursey at 4:02. And that's why we are tied at 2. So here was an interesting one for me. I know I didn't get a chance to get to some of these stats, but I will bring this in now and you let me know what you guys think. So again, Evgeny Dadonov. You know how that was with the cap situation last year, where Dadonov, the Kings, the Golden Knights had to get rid of that contract because they were all up against the cap. But when the Golden Knights were in a situation where they were trying to make the postseason, Evgeny Dadonov was one of those guys that single-handedly kept them in that and scored goals. And now he is no longer there. So be able to kind of just take Dadonov and flip him for Phil Kessel for a much less amount makes things interesting. But it's important, again, for the Golden Knights to be able to handle their business in regulation. But as the Avalanche, the Wild, and Blues all made it in the Central, with the wild card coming from the Stars and Preds that kept the Golden Knights out. Will they get in this year? Can they avoid some of these overtime woes? And is Logan Thompson going to be enough for them to do? And because of the salary cap being so restraining here for the Knights, what can they do to make some other changes? Because I think they're going to have to depend heavily on Phil Kessel to be able to get some of that stuff done, even with the Ironman streak. Back into the official action, 13:40. Left to go in the third period. John here with him from Crypto.com Arena. So this is Matt Roy. Lost it behind the net. But Vegas, thankfully for the Kings, could not find it in the middle of the slot because Jonathan Quick, he was in no man's land. And now the Kings will try to reset this thing. This time McClenny could take a breath, but it's turned over. And now the Golden Knights have this thing. Jonathan Marchessault trying to spin off the right side of the dot. And now Thompson trying to find this thing as well. This is a spin around to Matt Roy. Now back to Dursey as Roy plays catcher behind the net of Jonathan Quick. Quick. It's intercepted again by the Golden Knights. Alex Pietrangelo off the backhand, trying to leave it there for the Golden Knights, and Hunter Pietrangelo will recover. Couple of saves by Quick, and he slides over to make the third save. And now we have a penalty called. So Jonathan Quick, for as old as people like to say that he is, he looks very fresh in this first game of the season. And we'll see what this penalty is going to be on. So, admittedly, I did not see what the penalty was going to be on. If you guys relay that to me in the section, I would appreciate that. That is a blown evidence piece on my part. Was there a tripping or something that I missed? Let's get into the penalty. It is a Vegas power play. It's Philip Danault for slashing Alex Pietrangelo. That must have been when the puck went in the middle of the slot and it went into nowhere. And that's where Philip Dano got the slashing call, because I thought that puck was right there for the taking and Vegas just could not find it. So this is Vegas's, let's count a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th power play of the game. Well, they find one. Marchessault with the bullet. Quick with the save, but it's loose, and it's in behind the net. Stone. Now this goes back. Scores! Vegas finally 1 for 5 on the power play. The slap shot. You can't ask Jonathan Quick to do it forever. And guess who scored it? The hot dog man, Phil Kessel. Makes it 3-2. You cannot tell me this guy still can't play, because I would not believe it. That might be my bias, but it was. Nicholas Waugh right out in front, tipped off the slap shot. So Pietrangelo lets the bomb go. This gets tipped by Phil Kessel past Jonathan Quick. That is a perfect deflection in front of the goal. That is a hot dog goal. So 3-2, Golden Knights. And I think if you're Vegas, you have to absolutely be thrilled. Chase for the puck now. Try to wrap around Keegan Kolesar. And Jonathan Quick said no. Still holding on the right post. Another wrap around. Goal sticks down. Everybody looking for the puck right now. Blake Lazat's on top of it. Edler's on top of it. There is drowning pool bodies everywhere. And the play is blown dead. 12-20 left to go in the third. And we want to make sure that nobody else is shaken up. But, man, Jonathan Quick has to be shaken up quite a bit. But, again, regardless of the win, lose, or draw that the Los Angeles Kings can get in this game, can you not say that Jonathan Quick has been absolutely splendid? I think this could easily be, at this point, a game that could have 5 or 6 goals against. There was a broken twig out front. Edler was on top. Walker was on top, just trying to make sure that the puck did not cross the red line. It did not. So Phil Kessel got the tip goal about 40 seconds ago, and then all of a sudden it was just drowning pool on the ice. So Eichel picks it up off the faceoff draw, looking for the deflection, and Quick made another save. He has been so good in this contest. I really don't know what else to say. That is his 40th out of 43 attempts to make saves. I will make sure when I have you in there, Alec, and I get some time, I will listen to you in the broadcast to make sure everything sounds, because if you want to work together covering some hockey games, I wouldn't mind that as well. I might be joined by Cooper Hopkins on the Thursday side between the Avalanche and the Flames, or maybe Flames Oilers on Saturday. I'm going to keep those days open on Thursday and Saturday just in case. So Kings need a goal right now, but they still got plenty of time to do so. It's 11:45 left to go in the third as this goes down the ice, where Jonathan Quick will play this out of the goal crease. Now this goes back to Mikey Anderson from Drew Doughty as they play crisscross. Now Anderson to Doughty as he goes down the right wing side. He's going to rattle this around the kick plate, and this gets picked up now by Andrzej Kopitar. He tries to find it, does the Los Angeles Kings captain. Alex Iafallo. Give Biliardi. Slap shot there for Doughty. Big time save there by Thompson with the left pad. And this stays alive. Quentin Byfield, second round pick from a couple years ago from Alexei Lafreniere, looking for the redirection, was Byfield in front of the net. But he just missed that one. And this goes back to the mustard-colored hot dogs. Maybe that's why Phil Kessel, I just thought about that. Maybe that's why he went to Vegas, for that buffet and the mustard color on the hot dog. Don't know why I didn't think about that earlier. This is a turnover, but this goes back to Drew Doughty, where they can save the Kings before that could have been a 3-on-0 against Quick. And Iafallo couldn't get to it. Now this goes back to Brett Howden. Howden's going to play this one across as the second line's out there right now. Centered out in front, picked up by the Kings, but it's back now with the Golden Knights as they've spun around. William Carlson on the third line nowadays. Jonathan Marchessault also joining in. Off the wraparound, goes wide, and now this goes back to Kayev. So Arthur Kayev, I should say, he's going to go back and pick this one up, and now this falls to Jonathan Quick. He's got to be quick about it as this is spun around to Sean Durzi. Picked up by Philip Dano now. He's going to rattle this one in. Picked up now as this was blocked. Dano still keeps us across the blue line side, but it gets turned over. And here comes Vegas, although it's 3-on-3. They will chip this one down the ice near the right side red line, where this goes to Nicholas Waugh. Nicholas Waugh gets worked over there as Matt Roy tries to join in with Philip Dano near the right side dot. Goes to Vegas, trying to center it out in front through a flutter near the right side faceoff dot. Shea Theodore couldn't get to it, and now this goes to Philip Dano. Dano plays this off the kick plate as this goes in between Sean Dursey and Matt Roy. Roy now patient there with Dursey as Dursey will pick it up. Dursey plays it in between his skates, and it lets the Los Angeles Kings forwards take a change. 9:25 left to go as Go Kings Go chants being serenaded at Crypto.com Arena. But the Kings, even though they just made their change, they cannot change any further with the hybrid icing. 3-2 Vegas. It is Phil Kessel with the go-ahead goal right now. ESPN Plus Hockey Night Thursday will be Devils and Flyers and Stars and Preds. It is Wild Card 1 and Wild Card 2 in the Central at that 8:30 mark. So I don't know openly if I'm going to do a hockey assignment tomorrow or if I'm going to cover the Phillies game. If I do a hockey assignment, I know I had the Columbus Blue Jackets on the schedule there to look and see what Johnny Gaudreau was all about. Shot out front, stop by Quick with the glove. It's bounced off the kick plate, goes back to Vegas, in behind the office of Quick. He makes a third save. This one goes off his face. And now this goes back to the Kings. And this one goes down the ice. We have a hand in the air. And who is this going to be on? I think this is going to go against Vegas. This should put the LA Kings on the power play with a golden opportunity, no pun intended, here for the Kings to be able to get this to a 3-3 game. So we'll see what this is on. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's my fault there about the mustard and the hot dog. Again, I don't try to use it as a joke too much, but Phil loves to eat. But I love to watch him play. Come back. It is power play situation that we will get taken care of shortly here, as we're still in the middle of third period action. So you think they gave the goal to William Carlson? Good look out on that, because if it is, I will make a note of that. Yes, they did at the 7:17 mark. So I can make a note of that during my game story. So I appreciate that very much, Jeff. I'm going to make official note of that when we get back into the action. So thank you for looking out. I have the ESPN box score, but sometimes it changes on the fly, and you might miss some names in here and there. So it's always good. Again, you make a mistake, no problem. You get that clarification in there quickly. That's what people want. So thank you for that.
It's easy to use to make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 or more times,
what is baseball score right now? Let me refresh this. You know what? If the baseball game is still going on, when this hockey game ends, I will flip back over here. Well, how about that? I'll flip back over if that game's still going on before the hockey game ends. But if it doesn't, then I'll go ahead and write my story. So I don't know if I said this. I'll make note of it. So Monday through Thursday. So Monday through Thursday and Saturday are usually the working days that I'll be doing something. If you ever want to check Facebook Live, Twitter Spaces, Colorcast, YouTube, I'll be around there. So Monday through Thursday and maybe some Saturdays. Usually the schedule. Can't do Sundays because of the football stuff, having to get all the write-ups. And Fridays usually kind of keep an off day there. So thank you to Jeff for the clarification here. We got an LA Kings power play, but it was William Carlson that got the goal. And this right now says Alex Pietrangelo and Nicholas Waugh. I thought it was Phil Kessel, but it was not. So it's William Carlson on the power play at the 7:17 mark, which was the latest marker. So 9 minutes left to go in the third. It is a 3-2 lead for the Golden Knights. But the LA Kings have about $1:45 left to go on this power play. It's John out here with you from Crypto.com Arena. It is the nightcap with the ESPN coverage and really the opening night if you don't count the games in Prague between the Sharks and the Preds. So Doughty, one-timer, and that one goes just wide as Doughty a bid. And this one gets cleared down by Carlson. Doughty tries to find it here to Andrei Kopitar, the longtime captain, as this goes back to Drew Doughty. Drew Doughty is still in the middle of that long-term 9-year deal. So Kopitar now with Kempe. So a lot of the AAA battery line will be out on the power play here for Todd McClellan's squad. So blocked in nicely. Doughty keeps it alive. Doughty plays this to Iafallo, and they crisscross. Now to Doughty. Andrei Kopitar near the right dot, holding. Lets the shot go through the screen. Logan Thompson makes the save with the right pad. As he falls down, Alex Iafallo Vegas tries to find it and clear this one down. I'll stop by when I'm not busy. I'm always working during all the time. So, yeah, I appreciate it. Anytime you can stop by, Jeff, you want to hang out, listen to the game, you want to shoot the shit, that's always cool. So, no problems. I will be here. So, this goes back now. Philip Dano, Trevor Moore. And they had a little bit of miscommunication, but Dano picks it up. Kempe, Dano. And now this goes blocked by Thompson and now picked up by the Golden Knights. Chandler Stevenson has it now near the right side dot and the right side red line. He's trying to keep this alive amongst the skates, and Dano trying to pry that loose. And again, just another example of Philip Dano playing the 200-foot game. Picked up now by Gabe Villiardi. He was one of the first goal scorers in the game. He scored the first goal of the Kings season. Goes down to Nicholas Waugh. Dano holds. The power play is going to end. Beautiful pass out in front. Kings score! Arthur Kaliev. Gorgeous pass out in front by the Kings. Logan Thompson didn't know where it was. Your broadcaster didn't know where it was. But thankfully, Kaliev does. And it is trace to trace. 3-3 your score in the third. Threes are wild with 7:02 left to go. So Villiardi, beautiful back pass, keeping it alive, and Kaliev finds it right on the doorstep in the middle of the slot. What a outlet pass by Trevor Moore off the backhand with a no-look. That deserves the nastiest dime of the night, if I say so myself. And it's 3-3. That is a sick goal. We've seen a lot of good ones here, Jeff, as far as everything that's been going on. A lot of good goals in this game. This has been a great game. Jonathan Marchessault, here he comes, using a couple of toe drags, and here come the Kings with Victor Arvidsson, former Nashville Predator. As this one goes back, now to Marchessault, and now here's a chance. Golden Knights will crisscross this one near the right side dot, and Stone gets worked off the puck. Jonathan Marchessault will spin around as this bounces off of the stick blade from Carl Grundstrom. 6:20 left to go in this third or thereabouts. We're about to hit that marker. Sometimes I'm a little bit ahead or behind on the stream side, but anybody that follows along, I appreciate it. So Walker has it now as I'm going to go back to my depth charts. As the third line defense is out right now for the LA Kings. They're trying to get this in the blue paint. But this is near the red line now, where the Kings will pick this one up. Sean Dursey will lead this here for the defensive partner in Kopitar. Kopitar lost it in between these stick blades, trying to keep this safe. And now this could be a 3-on-2, but the Kings will elect to just put this near where Keegan Kolesar gets punched pretty hard against the boards with a massive check. This gets gloved out of the air, but not played, so that is still legal. 5:40 left to go in the third. We have a tie game at 3. Kings. Here's working. Victor Arvidsson with a bid. Stopped there by Logan Thompson as he was trying to shoot that left side of the top bar. Edler trying to find it now as this gets picked up by Alex Pietrangelo there momentarily, but he lost it, centered out in front of Thompson, and then somehow went behind him to one of the Golden Knights players, and now this falls back to the red lines where the Kings can try to get back in and make something happen. Sean Dursey tried to center it out in front of the slot. Phil Kessel off to the races as much as he can be, holds up, waits for reinforcements, lets the wrist shot go, but it went just wide of the blue paint on the right side. Kept in at the blue line by Vegas. Pietrangelo with a shot. That goes wide. We've hit the 4:50 marker of the third period. So my phone should be able to be alive throughout this whole game. Still at 20%, so that should cover the rest of it. So it shouldn't have to charge just yet. Jonathan Quick gives it to Drew Doughty here. As we're getting close to gut checking time here, as much as could be in regular season game numero uno here. So here's a chance now. Doughty still holding on to it. Lets the wrist shot go. That one gets bombed off the kick plate. Picked up now by the Kings in the own end of Logan Thompson. Try to get centered out in front. Doughty keeps it alive. Mikey Anderson. Now to Doughty. Doughty with the bomb! And that one goes just wide of Logan Thompson and back down across the red line. Here's a chance now for Quentin Byfield, the second overall pick from a couple of years ago. Remember, it was Alexei Lafreniere as the Rangers won the lottery balls. And during that COVID pause, one of the teams that was supposed to be rebuilding, the New York Rangers, are probably looking to be one of the favorites to win the Stanley Cup. So Quentin Byfield, the Kings want to see a little bit of improvement from him, and I think they will as it goes along. I think the Kings are a good young up-and-coming team, and their trajectory is going north, not south. Kings have the puck now. Nice play from Edler, and that one just went wide, and another shot just went wide as Thompson probably felt the wind buzzing around his ears with the puck, and the Golden Knights will steal. Chandler Stevenson tried to play it out in front of the left side faceoff dot. Edler trying to pick this up now. Holding. Slap shot. Stop by Quick. Where is it? Rebound is with the Golden Knights right now. They keep it in. Across that blue line barely is Mark Stone. He just flutters this one toward Quick. He will take no chances. And we can take a breath, folks. And I will. 3:06 with a commercial break. Tied at 3. Vegas Golden Knights and LA Kings.
So why is Omar sleeping like a baby? Because he made the smart choice to shop with IKEA with new benefits for IKEA family members, including 12% off all eligible purchases in store. Every visit, every day. IKEA.
So let's get you an update. Still 5-3. Dodgers up in the bottom of the 8th. If this game goes in overtime and a shootout, we're probably going to end at the same time. I will not move too much because usually when that shootout goes, it goes very quickly here. So if we do get to that point, I'm going to stay right with the hockey coverage, but we'll try to follow along in the box score quickly. Maybe momentarily change it there for a minute just to see any other updates, but it's not a full, long intermission like it always is before that. So 3 other baseball games final. The first one of the day was the Philadelphia Phillies. They got a 7-6 win over the Atlanta Braves. Then it was Houston getting the shocker upset. They brought Robbie Ray in to the Seattle Mariners to get the final out of the 9th, but it was Air Jordan Alvarez with the 3-run bomb gave Houston the 8-7 win, and the Yankees were able to close out Cleveland 4-1. Cleveland's had a tough time scoring runs, but the most important part for them in the wild card was they scored more than Tampa. They scored 3. Tampa only scored 1. So the Cleveland Guardians have 4 runs in 3 games right now, and that's not going to get it done.
All right, Scotty, thanks very much. Brian Boucher, Leah Hextall. Next week, she's going to have a couple of terrific.
So we're going to get back to the action in a moment. We are deep into the 3rd period, tied at 3. So let's get this official recorder turned on again. It is 3 minutes left to go in the 3rd, tied at 3. John out here with you from Crypto.com Arena. It's Vegas Golden Knights and the LA Kings in game number 1 for both teams. It's going to be game number 1 for a lot of teams, unless you're the San Jose Sharks and Nashville Predators with the Czech Republic Prague games, where the Nashville Predators are already 2-0 in the regular season. And yes, I said regular season. So 2:40 left to go in the 3rd period. This goes back in behind the cage of Logan Thompson. And the Golden Knights will look to break out in the mustard yellow tops and the black pants in the bottom. And the LA Kings get this now from Drew Doughty and Jonathan Quick. They will be going right to left with the white jerseys on the top and the black pants at the bottom. And that's what you have across your radio dial. Kings trying to find this in their own end. And miscommunication here. Keegan Kolesar between 4 Kings was able to steal the puck, but I really don't know how. Zach Whitecloud tried to spin around with Alex Pietrangelo. And now they just throw it right to one of the Kings, who can get this down across the red line and try to reset. Golden Knights lost it there as Brett Howden couldn't get to it. And Alex Iafallo will dump this near an open right face-off dot. $1:45 left to go in this 3rd and final frame unless we have overtime. We're tied at 3. Jonathan Quick will play this one. Dursey and Roy, they turn it over. This goes back to Kolesar, as he's had some pretty good Keegan Kolesar, some shift here, some time for Bruce Cassidy's squad. Vegas buzzing all over the Kings zone right now, but they can't get shots. Here's a chance for Nicholas Waugh. off the backhand, still working with it. And Quick had to make the pad save. But this is still with Vegas. Kings can't get it out of their own zone right now. Matt Roy trying to be the one to oppose with the biscuit. It's been 40 straight seconds here for Vegas. And now this finally goes across the blue paint, where this goes back down to Jonathan Quick. We've had a minute left to go. Overtime seems to be looming. And Jeff, I think that we've called that one pretty early as far as what we felt, although some of these other goals have made us kind of jump out of our seats. And this has been really good right now. So the Kings are really just taking their time right now as the towels are waving. It's still pretty close to a sellout here at Crypto, although I do see some open seats as I'm waiting for the play to continue. A nice east to west pass, but here we go. Here's a chance for the Golden Knights as it gets turned over. Stevenson scores! He scores what could be the game-winning goal with 25 seconds. And forgive me for the announcer's jinx, but when you saw it behind the net, we thought there was no way. Yes, you thought there was no way because they're going to take their time. But that was a brutal turnover there. A brutal turnover there by the LA Kings. And we'll see whose goal this is going to be. So this is Sean Dursey. Throws a bullet out ahead, I believe, to Iafallo. Here come the Golden Knights. And you just left Jonathan Quick out to dry. It was Stevenson and Mark Stone with the snipe. Jeff, that's a pass that Sean Dursey cannot make. I know that you want to try to get a breakout, but with less than 30 seconds left in a tie game, I just don't think you take that chance. That's just me. So Mark Stone, his 180th career goal with 25 seconds left, what was thought could be overtime with, I hate to say it like this, was just a big gaffe by Sean Dursey. I think that's the only effigy that I'm going to use. Empty net coming the other way. Kempe's got to hurry. 10 seconds left to go. Thompson down. King's still with it. Vegas trying to get this out. They do. Can they get this across the empty net? They don't really care. 3 seconds down to 2. Fired in the empty net. It goes wide. The Golden Knights are going to win this game, folks. And if you asked me that about 35 seconds ago, and you asked Jeff in there as well, I appreciate it. GG's to you as well. I asked you as well if you thought Vegas was going to win this one with 35 seconds left to go and not counting in overtime. I think we both would have said no. But wow, that was a gaffe there by Dursey, and the LA Kings paid the price. That's a big 2 points, or at least a big point they let slip away early in the year. Again, it's just one game. It's opening night. I'm not going to be dramatic, but that's a pass you can't make. Mark Stone gets the game winner in the final 30 seconds, and we will close this out. So have a good one on this side. If you do want to hang around, my recorder's off now as the game is done. But if you do want to hang around, I can flip to the baseball game if you choose. But if you got to go to sleep or whatever else, we can do that too. So, all right, I'll flip around and I'll get some of my stuff typed in. So we are in the top of the ninth. All right, I appreciate that, man. So yeah, we'll stick around and let's watch the end of this baseball game. Wow, that was a really damn good. That was a damn good hockey game. That was a good game. I really did enjoy that. I always really enjoy NHL games anyway, but I just can't believe what happened in the last minute. So it's raining steadily right now. I don't know if it just started. Again, I'm not the weatherman, and we haven't followed along this whole time, but it's raining pretty hard. So thankfully right now, if the scoreline will hold, you won't have any kind of hold as far as what the weather would bring in this game. They're going to finish this as quickly as possible. And the Dodgers can do so right now if they get 3 outs. It's a 2-2 count on Bell. That is a pitch that was low. There is no doubt about it there, but that fastball, try to get Bell to chase, and it's a full count. So on the YouTube side, we are going to stay here until we finish out the rest of this baseball game. But thank you for following along on the YouTube side. For anyone that had, I hope you enjoyed the Golden Knights and the LA Kings, because that was very worth it as far as a nightcap game.
Tonight, I imagine with the moisture coming down, the precipitation coming down, moisture is becoming a little bit of a problem. So that's why the roster pads are getting changed out. So, a quick word from DraftKings. This postseason, bet $5, win 200 in free bets if your team wins. Download the app and get in on the action. Bet boom, game one for Will Myers. Solo home run and a 3-run fifth inning for San Diego. We have 2 more in the sixth. We made it to an inning-ending double play. Ended the Broncos with the biggest run of the game.
So strike one, is it's really coming down here in Southern California. 5-3 is your score line in favor of the Dodgers. They need just 2 more outs to take a 1-0 series lead in the best of 5 in the NLDS. Throw over from Turner, and 2 up, 2 down as Freddie Freeman catches it off the stretch, and this brings the Padres to their final out of the contest. It was a lead as much as 5-0. The Padres, around the 6th inning, I believe it was, made it 5-3, and that's where the score has stood ever since. Jake Cronenworth is 1 for 3 with a single in the 5th and scored a run. He is the Padres' last hope to keep this game alive. Perfect pitch. Right on the bottom right corner there from Martin on Cronenworth, and it's 0-1. Cronenworth is batting 6th nowadays, and for a second baseman and middle infielder as good as he is, that tells you how good the Padres lineup is, and as good as the other lineup is for the Dodgers. These are 2 heavy hitters, and maybe this would be a series we wish could go 7 games, not 5. Cronenworth does keep the Padres alive, and Ha-Sung Kim will step up to the dish with 1 on and 2 outs. As Cronenworth does his job, he keeps the Padres alive with a single to shallow left center field. Kim pops it up. We'll see if Betts can get over there. There you go. So that was Chris Taylor left. He makes the catch. Martin gets out of it, and that's the game. The Dodgers take a 1-0 series lead. Your final score 5-3 with the rain coming down. So a team from Southern California is going to be happy, and they're going to play as soon as tomorrow night. Lower Antonio is going to be on the call if you want to catch that one. Hey, Jeff, man, I appreciate that. Yes, the Padres definitely fought for it. I'm going to close out this cast, and I will send you a follow here on the color cast, my friend, once we get this done. So let me see if I can do that right now. Appreciate it, buddy. We will talk soon. I'll be around. You have a good one.